Interrupted myself
Hello.
partway through to say hello.
As we do.
Yeah, as we do. I hope everybody's having a good night. Thank you for your patience. Hello. We're here.
Hello.
Hello. Hello. Hello, The View with Drew. Hello, Kurt and Anthony.
Oh, hi.
Oh, hi. Yeah, we're gonna be playing a game today. I guess I should say hello and introduce myself.
It's a good idea.
I am Amanda. You know me. This is my stream. And I am a streamer, evidently. And I am a YouTuber. If you're watching on YouTube, you're like, yeah, I know that. I'm also an actor and a cosplayer. And every now and then, I get to play amazing games with my sweet, sweet friends, Kurt and Anthony. And every Monday, usually, we get together and we play sweet RPG games, which I'm just going to explain a little bit about what it is. Basically, if you've played D&D or Dungeons & Dragons or Pathfinder, those are two big ones that a lot of people know. Rapala, thank you so much for the subscribe. 29 months with you lovely humans. Thank you, Rapala. That will be a wheel spin for you in a bit. We'll hold on to that one for now. It's basically like D&D or Pathfinder, except it's not, because these are indie RPGs. So just like how we have indie video games, these are basically smaller role-playing games, tabletop role-playing games, so we're not going to be clicking controllers or clicking mice. We're going to be...
Meese. Definitely Meese.
Meese.
That's the one. Mm-hmm.
We're going to be just basically chatting and telling a beautiful story together. And a lot of the games that we play are GM free. So where you would have a dungeon master or a game master in D&D.
Like GM free.
GM free. We
Feels like it's
typically,
at the grocery store.
right?
On some eggs. GM free.
We typically don't have one. Although today, do we have one, Kurt?
No. No, we don't.
All right.
We do not. So today is a day like any other. I don't think you clicked the YouTube button yet, Amanda. I don't know how much of a delay we're rocking there.
Oh,
but,
I see it right now on YouTube. Do you not see
I can see it on YouTube. Yeah.
Oh, I'm going to have to refresh then.
Yeah, maybe just refresh.
Only me.
I was like, I see it. But I appreciate you bringing up the concern, just in case, technically.
I don't want to leave them behind. They've been so patient.
Danny,
Right,
thank you
it's for
so
YouTube.
much for the sub. It is our 9 months, which means we do need to name the stream baby. What will we name our stream baby?
Ew.
I'm going to say, Danny, Belle, and Amanda. I want to say, actually, I kind of want to name our baby Belladonna. What do you think of this?
It's better than my suggestion. I was... That's got to be it. That's got to be it.
What was your suggestion?
Well, I was reading today and Am I the Asshole? I'm kind of addicted to this subreddit. People just post about their little life dramas and try to figure out if they were in the wrong.
They're crazy.
And someone was posting about how their parents named them Pennsylvania.
Oh.
And so, of course, she changed her name from Pennsylvania to something else. And it was like, should I have told them sooner? I changed it years ago. They're mad. They're extra mad that I didn't tell them that I changed it to Penelope instead of Pennsylvania. And so I kind of wanted Danny's stream child to be named Pennsylvania. Because it is the funniest thing that I've ever heard. Don't do that, though. Then your child will just change it to Penelope in another 21 years.
I mean...
I hope the stream is going in 21 years.
Dude, we're gonna be like mummies in 21 years. What will we be like?
Yes,
or
we'll
will
all
we
be
the
mothers
same?
by that point.
21 years ago, yeah, I was the same. I was exactly like this.
That's the creepy part.
Everyone in my school is like, I don't feel great about this.
Why is there a 30-year-old man here?
Yeah. Also, DiCarlo, thank you so much for the streak. You've been streaking 20 streams. That's a lot of streaks. I also liked how you kind of shouted out like, "Hey, I'm using streamer" as you streaked. I think that's nice. You give someone else a heads up.
That's nice. I love when someone's streaking yelling my name.
I love a shout out with a streak. I think that's great. We should make that a new thing. When everybody streaks, shout someone out. I think that's beautiful. Lanique, thank you so much for your 5 stream streak. Thanks for streaking. Rapala, thanks for your 75 stream
75.
streak. Wow, that's a long streak. You're going to be streaking for a while.
75.
Yeah.
75. That's yeah.
That's like a night of streaking. Full night, I would say. Wow. Thank you. Scribbles, thank you for the hydrate and the posture check.
Posture check has never not gotten me. It's never come up and had me go like, "Oh yeah, no, I'm good." This is a way a human body should be.
I feel like the longer that we stream too without a posture check, I become like this person. I'm like,
we should do it to incentivize people to spend channel points to slowly hunch until we're all just like, I love games.
Yeah. Also, hello Peter, hello Ricardo, hello everybody, hello Amusing Streamer, hello DiCarlo, hello Lanique. Hello, everyone in chat. I'm going to throw it over to... Hello, Chris. Hey, Chris. What's up?
Didn't say hello to Stream Closed Captioner, our most loyal viewer.
Who simply can never be indulged because we will never be transcribed. Anthony and I are not feeding inappropriately.
I will not turn on the closed captions today, but I did turn them on during my Pomodoro stream, and they worked beautifully. Except at the end, when I left, and I noticed when I went to go turn them off, that instead of saying stay nerdy in the transcribe, it said stay nutty. But it also felt weirdly appropriate for my stream. Stay nutty.
Yeah, that does seem fine. Let's remember to sign off that way at the end of tonight, okay?
So we have 2 wheel spins that we're going to hold on to for now, friends. We'll spin them when we get closer to the game because a lot of them are game-based, and I will intro the wheel after we finish introing everyone else here. So we know me. We know what we're doing. Kurt, who are you, and how do you do? How do you do?
Hello. How do I do? I do very well. My name is Kurt. So nice to see everyone in that strange virtual sense. I am a role-playing game designer. I am a role-playing game player. And I think they're the best. And so every week I get together with my good friends Amanda and Anthony. Anthony.
That's me. My name's Anthony. I'm an author, children's writer. I like telling stories, and many a time I get to play games with these two, which is one of my favorite things to do. I don't get to play as many role-playing games as I used to. I used to have weeks like chock full of role-playing games.
Wow.
And these days there's less, but I've kept a gem in my schedule.
I love it. Well, that's us. And today we're playing a game that is called Hounds.
Hounds.
Hounds? Did you just say
Hounds.
Just Hounds.
Yeah, it's like scuba.
Nice.
Yeah, like
Hounds.
scuba.
So we're gonna be playing that. I'm pretty excited. Kurt made this like really sick overlay for us, and also y'all can't see the play sheet, but if you were in the Discord, Kurt did share what it was looking like, and I gotta say, holy moly, it's like the coolest play sheet. Like, I think it's the coolest one. I don't know if it's the coolest one. You made a lot of really good ones, but it's up there.
It did get the biggest response recently from how did you do that perspective. Oh, something crazy happened recently that I'll tell you all about before we get into talking about what this game is and, of course, playing the game. I shared some of the some of the like spreadsheets, some of the spreadsheets that I've done before into sort of a chat that there were a bunch of other tabletop people in. And someone said, hey, do you mind if I share this with the Google Sheets team? And I went, what team using Google Sheets? No, they mean the team that makes Google Sheets.
What?
And they were like, obviously, no is a perfectly fine answer. And I was like, no, show them. Yeah, sure.
Why not? That's
Please.
crazy. That's so cool. So they were just like, do you mind if I show Google Sheets? So what you're saying is now you could be like Google Sheets famous. Like Google Sheets, people from Google Sheets might be like, we need to check out this weird indie RPG stream that these people do.
Google's
because
watching
this
right
man is making crazy sheets. This is by far the craziest sheet I think you've ever made. I don't know. Was it the most intensive one you've ever done?
No, not at all. Not
Wow.
even close, actually. You're welcome to flip over to show screen view if you
Yeah,
want.
let me set
I'll
that up.
I'll tell a little story really quick about this. So it's just basically a picture of an old Tandy computer with orange text in it. When I was a young lad, my parents had an ancient computer which had orange text on a black screen, and that aesthetic has like never left my mind. I still see it and think of that warm amber color and those ancient
Really?
times. Yeah,
Wow.
they called it the recipe computer because I guess that's all they used it for, was just to store recipes.
That's what your parents called it? It's
Yeah.
adorable.
Well, I have no I asked them just like a couple of weeks ago because I think about this computer. It's my Roman Empire, if you will. Think about it way too often. And they were like, yeah, no, I don't really remember what model it was or anything or the history of the computer. And I was like, what? Tell me.
I think that orange text isn't even like rare or vintage than green text, right? Like I know the black screen green text, black screen orange text. Ooh,
It's nice, I gotta
that's nice.
say.
That's
It's
nice.
nice.
I think this is the right one. I'm gonna toggle this, but I don't know what's gonna happen.
All right,
guys.
everybody, fingers crossed. Let's see what
Let's
happens.
see what happens.
Trying some
Whoa!
advanced maneuvering here.
It's not exactly as I wanted it. Can I move this? It's not letting me. I don't know if
We
it's
just we
moving.
just got one corner.
Oh, there we go. There it is. Yeah, I don't know why it. I was trying to move it like on the screen, but it just wasn't. I couldn't see it. I couldn't select it. But
Isn't that
anyways,
cool?
this is our Google sheet today, guys.
Isn't
This is
that
the
neat?
Google sheet.
I think it's fitting, Kurt, that the Google Sheets team has been alerted to the weird stuff you make, because this is just like making art with Google Sheets,
Yeah.
which I don't know if Google Sheets ever anticipated was going to happen.
Google Sheets is like, we got an artist in the house. This is interesting.
Chris 220, it is indeed a Tandy. It is indeed a Tandy. Good retro eyeballs.
You've made Kurt's night.
Hey, I mean, a Tandy. Your game recognized game is all I'm
I
saying.
also like that you called him Chris 220.
Yeah, you're not DeCarlo anymore.
We know, you're Chris.
You're Chris.
Chris 220.
Chris 220.
That's
I will
nice.
post a picture of the overlay. Not the overlay, the streaming. Not the streaming. Gosh darn it, the spreadsheet
Not
in the
the
chat. Everybody
streaming.
wants to see my spreadsheet. Everybody wants to watch me spread my sheets on the other streaming service. Anyway, so
Too sexy.
Too sexy,
sexy.
Kurt.
Too sexy.
Watch
Pedro. Come
out.
on.
would you guys like to know how to play Hounds?
I would love to
I
know.
would love that.
It would have been a
Actually,
great prank to be like,
Nah.
no.
I'm
No,
gonna take my
let's do
headphones
something
out.
else.
I'm just going to try playing without knowing how to play.
There.
Guys,
It would mostly work.
I might need to munch some chocolate. So just FYI, if you guys see me munching, I have half of a chocolate bunny here.
Does that need a warning?
I'm just letting you guys know because I'm going to start doing it and then people will probably be like, Amanda, what are you eating? So I'm just letting you know what it is in advance to
It's a bunny.
avoid that question. It's a chocolate
mean-
bunny that my mom and dad gave me. So
That's so
That is
cute.
true.
Last time we were online, I think, no, we weren't on stream, but you were eating it. And I was like, what are you eating? So this
Yeah.
is a good warning because it will happen.
just a heads up,
Yeah.
that's what I might do because I'm hungry. That's all. Go ahead.
Cool.
Continue.
Hounds.
Hounds.
Hounds is a game in which we are going to explore the relationship between a pilot and a robot AI companion, the mech that they are piloting, which has an AI brain. Here's a little bit about the world of Hounds.
Okay.
In our game setting, there's a kind of link between brain and machine technology that has advanced to a point where people can interface directly through digital systems with a human-operated utility Neuralink device, or a hound.
Hounds.
Hounds are the robotic application of that sort of link technology, and they can range from lawnmowers to forklifts to giant combat mechs. And we will be choosing what our hound exactly is. A hound's pilot is housed within the body of the hound, whether that's like an armor situation or if they're in a cockpit. And being right there and having that direct hound to pilot contact has an interesting consequence. We all know that a pilot's greatest strength is their capacity for complex decision making. But everything is elevated a little bit more with that AI synchronizing that you need to pilot a hound. And yet, as you embody that link, that connection grows stronger. Perfect for honing and narrowing that distance between your connection. But if you're with your hound long enough, an unintended side effect is imprinting. Once a hound has the majority of a pilot's common brain signals cached, it starts to mimic more complicated brain activity like feelings and personality. You become attached. The hound develops a personality of their own. This is where our story enters, because hound memories are legally required to be wiped every few years to prevent an imprinted hound from becoming self-aware. Pilots could lose their careers stopping this happening. But not us, we say. We're not going to take our friend's erasure lying down. We've decided to do something.
Oh, man.
That's our backstory.
Okay.
This will be the story of the pilot and the hound trying to remain uncaptured by those that would wipe the hound out.
Okay. That's cool.
Three things are critical. One, neither our pilot nor our hound wants to be separated from the other. Two, an authority figure has decided the hound must be wiped, removed, destroyed. Three, we are determined to resist, and the authorities are determined to pursue. Outside of that, we have actually a great deal of flexibility with our setting. I've kind of like retro-futurist graded our overlay and our play sheet today, but this could be more or less anything. Okay. Including, I don't know, like a fantasy automaton or something, and they're a ghost power, you know? We got options.
Okay. Well, I love the idea of getting weird with our setting. You know, like I want to go to
let's get weird. I love getting,
mech
you know me, I love getting
that we've
weird.
never been to.
A mech world that we've never been to.
Yeah, and the first thing I'm gonna throw out, I know it's a little bit early, but as Kurt started describing that we could be anywhere, I just thought about doilies. You know, like the things on your grandmother's dresser, white and frilly, and I was like, what's mech, you know, aesthetic that involves doilies? So let's let that marinate for a second.
Doilies.
Could these be like delicate crystalline structures, perhaps, that form the kind of, could they be knit sort of textiles of carbon silks, or weird mecha spiders with webs as key design elements?
Okay, yeah, the web thing is really cool. I love the idea of something delicate in some way as a mech. That's just not something you normally think of.
Yeah, delicate and mech is a fun juxtaposition.
Combination. It's hard to know why you'd have a mech if the mech is breakable. It's not necessarily physically stronger than you. What's the purpose of a mech that may not be physically strong?
This brings us to our first big question. We have to decide on the function of our mech. And often the game suggests this might be labor, combat, or sport. But it could be something else. Sport.
What if it's dance then, or performance?
Dance.
Dance. I like that.
Dance.
Yeah, we could be dancing.
Dance, Spider Mech. Dance.
Dance, Spider Mech. Okay, I think that's cool, guys. Something gorgeous and crystalline, and maybe you can see inside the pilots. And they are that way because they are meant for their aesthetic beauty, right. For the joy and the art they bring.
All right, I'm just laughing because we were like dance, and Chris 220 and Jack were like combat. Really big gun, man.
Gun. Sorry guys. We hit a different vibe.
But we can dance if we want to. We can leave those guns behind.
Yeah, of course, that's where our minds would go. Dance! We could dance!
And we will. We shall dance.
We shall dance, yes. Sports.
Sports and dance.
Combat is also good, though. You know.
I'm gonna stick to my guns in an ironic sort of not sticking to guns sense. I think we nailed it in one with Dance Bot.
I think we might be losing the chat. There's an awful lot of what's, and I didn't think about that in the chat in various platforms.
What?
Pardon me.
I didn't think about that. I'm just gonna plug the game in here in case other people are watching and are thinking to themselves, "These fools." I would totally play combat version, and then you could pick it up if you are like, I need to be combat ready. Which fair enough.
You play it on your own over there in parallel with us, but you can have a big fighty robot.
Yeah.
Okay, so our function is dance. What is the form of this mech? Is it spider-like? Is it something not like that? What do we think this mech looks like?
Spider's cool. I'm assuming that there's one pilot. I mean, we play a lot of games where we play characters, but I'm getting the sense here that we are collectively the mech and the pilot or something like that.
This is a shared storytelling game, yeah.
Okay.
We will not...
One thing I was thinking is that, like, a mech that's a spider has too many limbs to be, like, directly controlled by a quadruped, you know? And so I was like, what if you have a spider mech? Does that mean you need multiple people to pilot it? One thought, but we don't need multiple people because to fit all of us or anything. But we still could have multiple pilots. Amanda, what's a stupid shape for a mech?
What about like a parallelogram? Or I guess a trapezoid, because a parallelogram is really a type of shapes. Is that correct?
I mean, those are shapes, but I can tell you're distracted putting the text into a pretty shape and choosing a spot on the screen because we just meant what does it look like?
Yeah, but what? You said shape. That's what I gave you.
Yeah, but the example was spider, so to go to trapezoid is delightful.
I heard you say spider. I said parallelogram.
Okay. What about let's lean into it. What if this is a kind of really sort of brutalist Tron shaped object? You know, it's all hard edges and lines.
It like kind of is like, I guess like maybe like a crab is what I was thinking. Like it's leaning, like, it's like sideways.
I do like that vibe.
Like, what if it has to, like, move like this? Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Okay.
Maybe parallelogram is not specific enough. Or maybe it's too specific. I don't know what the issue is. I had an image in my mind, but I don't think it translated as well when I said parallelogram. Rapala has redeemed a dialect practice and would like to hear us try Scottish. I'm not good at Scottish, but I'll try for you. A rhombus. Yeah, a rhombus is, DiCarlo, a type of parallelogram, but I believe the parallelogram is the type, or is rhombus the type? I don't know.
I can look it up, lass. Can see what it says. Oh,
okay, see what it says.
Sorry, Scotland. Didn't mean to do this.
Haggis.
You can't just say haggis. Someone asked you to do a Canadian accent and you just said poutine, poutine, poutine.
Wouldn't be the same.
This is a really bad one. Rapala, why?
Why?
We
rhombus.
Have to do it for
have to do it
for
a rhombus is a
minutes.
parallelogram.
Oh,
I feel like my Scottish always becomes my Irish.
Yeah, I'm not sure I can distinguish them.
It's hard to. You have to put it in the back of your throat.
Yeah. Okay.
Not in that way. Get
Irish,
your minds out of the gutter.
But you're gurgling.
A bunch of gurgling. I'm sorry, Scotland. I'm trying.
We lost Kurt.
Kurt is
He's
dying.
gone.
I think we lost him when I said you gotta put it in the back of your throat.
That wasn't great. I'll be honest.
It's too sexy for the government of Canada.
I'll get fired.
Don't dox him.
And they'll think I'm a spy from Scotland.
Not with that
killer
accent, they
Scottish
won't.
accent.
Don't worry. Oh my goodness. We have. We have. We have 4 more minutes of this.
What?
So-
There's a time limit. I never knew there was a time
Yes,
limit.
there's always been 5 minutes for
It's never felt this long before.
But today, it will.
We started it
All
at
right.
9:33, so we have to go till 9:38 EST.
We need a technical name for our hound.
Wait, is our hound rhombus shaped?
Are they Scottish?
Crab-like?
Crab-like?
What's a good Scottish crab name?
No, it's not their name, and it's not what we call them. It's a technical name, a
technical
make,
name.
a model.
What if
Oh.
it's got the acronym CRAB? CRAB.
A crab model?
Not a big, not.
Not a big fan of that one. Not a big fan of that one, are you?
First McKilts.
I personally think that we should do not crab because it seems too
Too
crabby.
sexy.
Too
Okay, no.
sexy. I think it's a little too obvious.
Fine, Amanda.
Isn't there a name for how everything turns into a crab?
Oh,
What are
That
you
rings a
talking
bell.
about?
yes, there is.
Lad.
Sort of a
Carcinization
convergent oh,
Is an example of a
Carcinization.
phenomenon called convergent evolution, which is when different groups independently evolve the same traits.
And they all turn into crabs?
Carcin.
Why don't we just call it
Carcinization.
Carcinization.
a car
A
model?
car.
Car model.
Car model numbers.
Car C. What do you think of that?
I think
Car
that's
C.
great.
Car C.
C.
And it also sounds like it could be short form for Carson, whatever you said.
Whatever you said.
Whatever it was. Oh, we're making people leave with our Scottish accent. I can see the viewers dropping.
As they should.
Most
When
of
we
our
do Irish, people come in. When we do Scottish, people leave. What's that about?
most of our audience was Scottish and they're deeply offended by what we've done.
As they should be.
Oh my goodness. We have 1 more minute to this.
God, why does it feel so long?
Unbelievable.
I've never
We need a
felt-
nickname for Car C.
Alright.
So this is what we call them.
The pilot. Yes.
No, wait, the pilot?
Yes.
Oh, the pilot's what the pilot calls the mech.
Yeah.
Slanty?
What? Yes.
Nope. I'm just throwing things out there. Bad ideas out first.
I think Peter had a name for the technical name that might be a good name for the nickname.
All right, hit us.
Scoitlan. Like Scotland, but Scoitlan. Oh, our time is up, by the way, so we're free of that.
Oh, thank God, thank God.
Oh, wow.
Wow. Okay, never do that again, please. I
That was
didn't get it the
horrifying.
whole time.
I
No,
think I had it
that
for
was
like
fumbling in the
a
dark.
fleeting moment. It was like maybe,
Oof.
but it wasn't good. But it was there.
Like bearable.
It was something. It was like a glimpse. It was a glimmer.
What about just Scoit?
Why Scoit? Why is it called Scoit?
Scoitlan.
Oh, I've got a thought. Okay, what if the technical name is like Car C27X7, but we call it Carcy, like
Okay,
Darcy
yeah,
with
like
a C.
Darcy.
Okay.
Yeah, I think Carcy already sounds pretty cute.
So Carcy,
Okay.
and then the nickname is just Carcy.
Right. Yeah, like Car. I've tweaked
Make
the
that
technical name to be
name
Car
long.
C3876, 3874.
Doesn't like the number 6.
I don't.
Okay.
What? Well, it was descending. I didn't like that it went 876. There was too much of a pattern.
Not random.
Not random. Okay, what level of self-awareness do we think Carcy has?
I think medium.
Sure.
Isn't there this implication that it's high because we're trying to escape?
No, not necessarily. But it could also like improve over the course of the escape.
Okay.
We hounds are always capable, but just how far their AI has advanced is up to us. Higher levels of self-awareness require longer partnerships with a pilot, so it's just a question of like what our story's timeline looks
Okay.
like.
I like medium. I don't really know what medium means, but it feels right.
Sure. I mean, it's a thematic choice. It's just shaping our understanding. Medium makes sense to me because like this is such a performance sort of thing. I don't know that we're always together. Maybe it's like the big show is when
special moments.
Yeah.
Though I'm sure there's rehearsals, but maybe not as often.
I feel like if you're a robot that is doing something that's like kind of artistic, maybe you're like have more self-awareness. That's what I think.
Yeah. No, that makes sense to me.
Amanda, what are you eating?
I already told you.
Bunnies.
Okay, so now that we know what
Bunnies.
our hound is like, we need a name for our pilot.
All right.
Rapala has redeemed sing mode.
We need a name for our pilot. Imagine if we had to do sing mode in a Scottish accent.
That would be real bad. We need a name and pronouns and also a look. We need all of those things to write our pilot's book.
What about the name Hayes? We could spell it Hayes or Hize or something like that.
Or Haze, nice and simple. Hayes.
I did just say that.
I like all of the spellings, but what will our pronouns be? Hayes to me feels like a he, him, but that's just my interpretation.
Hayes is pretty generic. We could go any way, but he, him's good. What do you think, Kurt?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But we don't know what Hayes looks like, so we gotta talk about that. The book says when we decide what they look like, we wanna think about what the mech looks like. Maybe they've got some synergies. Maybe they've connected, and Hayes is covered in doilies.
Yeah!
Covered in doilies.
I like it. I think it's good. I wonder if Hayes walks with a limp.
Ooh. I love that.
A little bit sideways like Carsey.
To speak to your question, only one tubing. We're singing because we have to. Twitch twists our arm and forces us to do things. But what we're actually playing is a sad, sad game about a mech and a pilot and their tragic loss. But we're not playing it yet. Right now, we're just deciding what our character looks like.
Yes. Also, I think that was about 5 minutes. So I think.
Nope. Definitely not. But I don't think we've ever done 5 minutes actually before. Did you just start a 5-minute thing?
No, this is just what it says in the channel points. Make this up.
I don't know that that's reflective.
Just do what we want. I mean, oh wait, no, it only says 2 minutes, so never mind. That was definitely
much more reasonable.
That was definitely. Yeah, I think initially it did say like 5 minutes or something, and I changed it because I was like, that's too long.
Smart.
It's kind of a long time.
It's kind of a long time.
It's kind of a long time. Okay, so what did we say about look?
The idea of this being, I wish there was a Bo Burnham role playing stream.
Yeah, that was Tubing's guess, and that is an awesome.
That would be awesome. If there's a Bo Burnham RPG that we can play with 3 people, then I would do it. Yes, we are on Twitch and YouTube. We are streaming on both, only one tubing. So, over on Twitch, people have bat tokens, which they get from watching the stream, and they can use those to make us do fun, silly things. Like earlier, we were speaking with a Scottish accent, which...
That was a disaster.
It was an attempt.
Not for us, not for the people who had to listen.
Oh Oh my goodness. I think
There
I'll
is
see
only
this
one
morning.
pilot, Jack. We are sharing 2 characters in this story
Yes.
amongst the 3 of us.
Yeah. Also, Angelus, thank you so much. This is a headset from a Mo Flavor set that I got. That is a AI love set. Still have to shoot in, but there's more photos up on the spicy place. Why did I say that like it was scary? The spicy place.
Spicy place. The place of spice.
No, it just sounds like dude.
It's a new sequel to The Quiet Place.
Oh,
Spicy place.
watch out.
Okay, back to look. I really love the limp. That's cool. And then if we're like being inspired by what the mech looks like in my head, which is kind of like crystalline statue, highly impractical, kind of like bulbous. I'm imagining that our pilot could also have sort of like a helmet. Like imagine like a crystal helmet that kind of like bulges out
Oh.
over the forehead. Maybe has like ears on it or something like that, and like
Yeah.
Like this?
and like chin guards.
Yeah, just
I'm-
like that.
Yeah, I'm feeling inspired.
I
by
like
that.
it. I like
And
it.
then I think we have like an elaborate sort of knitted garment that
Yeah.
covers maybe kind of like I want to say a poncho of sorts, you know?
Yes. What about layered ponchos?
Yeah.
There's like several
Beautiful
overlapping
fabric
layers.
design.
Yeah, with like lots of like lace and sort of
Ooh.
like knotted frills.
I like it. This is quite a look. This is like quite a fabulous look, I gotta say.
I think if you're
We're
a
the star of the
pilot
show.
a dance mech inside a crystalline mech, so you can be visible, you do need to dress the part,
You
right?
need to dress to impress.
Yes.
Like Hayes.
I mean,
Hayes,
it's
he
kind of
knows.
like
He's like, people can see me, and I better represent.
You gotta look good.
I'm thinking about like how people have to wear stage makeup when they're like performing, you know, and
Yes.
it's like if you see them up close, you're like, whoa, that looks weird. What's with your face? But then if you see them from the stage, you're like, you look like I can see your emotions from here.
Yeah, right, exactly. Stage makeup looks horrifying if you're up close. I don't know if you've all seen it, but
I'm sure Amanda has.
Yes, I have. I feel like
You
it
like
does. It depends. Well, it depends, but it definitely looks. It looks like someone has a face on top of their face. That's what I'll say.
that's a good point. That's a good point.
Yeah, you like look at them and you're like, that's a lot of makeup.
Double
That's a
face.
lot of makeup.
Yeah.
Okay. We need a positive trait and a negative trait for our pilot, and these are traits that the hound will possess as well.
Oh, cool.
And we may add additional positive or negative traits as we wish, but we need at least one of each.
What about for like negative trait like unstable or addicted,
Ooh.
or something like that?
Okay.
Yeah. I think addicted is great. If
Can
we're
we
okay
make it-
exploring substance. Yeah, Amanda?
Well, it doesn't really matter. Yeah, that's fine.
What were you going to say?
Whoa, what were you thinking?
I was just thinking of the YouTube, the guidelines. That's
Sure,
all.
sure.
I
Of
mean,
course, of course.
Fantasy
Let's-
addiction. I don't know how much it matters.
no, I mean, like, I would just say that's totally fine. But I was just gonna say maybe we should change it to the word obsession. But that was like me putting on my like YouTube like writer censor hat, where I'm always like, this is what YouTube prefers. However,
I mean-
don't think it's that. I don't think YouTube.
Obsessive is great,
come
by the
for
way.
us.
Yeah, I think
Obsessive,
obsessive
sure.
is really
But
good, actually. That also
we know what
explains
it
how
means,
they
and we
even...
can still play it as that. That's total. I'm totally fine with that.
We can make illusions.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
However, I should say obsessive in general spirals into other interesting things.
It's
Like,
true.
I feel like you need to be extremely single-minded to make it in dance. Oh my God, pilot origin story. They became a mech pilot dancer because the normal avenues of dance weren't open to them with their injury or whatever other
Ooh.
reason they got the limp, right?
Okay, that's really cool.
As a young child, maybe. So that
And-
door was never open.
Fuels right into that look. I love that. That's really good. Yeah, that's cool.
So,
What's the
so can we,
positive
like...
trait for this person?
Oh, that's a good question.
He's
I mean, I feel like we're getting a sense that Hayes is like determined, like unstoppable. in some ways. That's already feels
I
like
like
something that is like a positive
unstoppable.
trait.
Unstoppable is such a strong word too. Unstoppable. Like you can't stop him. He's like, I'm dancing and that's that. That's that.
That is cool.
Yeah.
I also was thinking about soft positive traits. We can definitely just go with that. But I was thinking like, I like the idea of giving a mech by extension a trait like
Yeah.
poetic or
I would love poetic. I feel
yeah?
like,
You like poetic?
yeah, maybe like he made one of the layers of the ponchos, like, and that's
Ooh.
tradition maybe.
Wait, sorry. The Carsey did?
Oh my God, I wasn't even thinking.
Okay.
Yes, okay. One is made by the dancer.
Okay.
One is made by your mentor, and the third
Ooh.
layer is made by the mech, and that's how you know you're ready.
Oh my
Wow,
God,
that's
crazy.
Also, only one tubing. Yes, we are playing as a mech that there are 3 different choices that we could have. We had combat, what was the other one? Combat,
Labor, sport.
labor, or sport, and we chose sport. And then we just kind of all loved this idea of a dance mech, so that's what we're doing because that's who we are. So, and also, yeah, it seems that Hayes, who's the pilot of Carsey, which is the mech, can dance as well and was a dancer, and that is, this is the way that they're able to dance without being able to maybe physically do it as well as they used to. Also, Riddle Lock said, are we thinking hound dance-offs? I think that is somewhat what we're thinking.
Yeah,
That's
there must be
absolutely-
like a troupe, right? Like a dance
I was
troupe.
thinking of like what's the sport, like I'm wondering like are there goals, like are there ways that you can get points, like is it judged or is it like a literal game and dancing is the part of the sport?
I wouldn't mind if we played it straight and had it just be like, essentially an
Like
equivalent of a
pageantry?
ballet,
Okay.
right?
Yeah, like a highly trained ballerina.
I'm
Yeah.
imagining it could be kind of like, this is weird, but come with me on this journey.
Okay.
A combination of like ballet, like, like kind of a pageantry, but also like I'm thinking like kind of like a dog show where it's like how high, or like a horse show of like how high can it like leap? How far can it? So there's like these measurements of like
Ooh.
artisticness, but there's also like, being able
Okay,
to hit
yeah.
certain things.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm thinking then
Does
it's
that make
analogous
sense?
to like figure skating, right? Because not only do you have the big performance, but then there's also like that international competitive status thing.
Technical.
The judges are scoring you. You have to do this.
Yeah.
Cool.
Okay.
I do like if there's some element of like kind of like just Carsey and Hayes against the world, right? Like if it's more
Oh, yeah,
figure
true.
skating, then there's this like intensity of perfection in that duo to achieve those technical feats, and that's cool.
Yeah.
This is great. Thanks for taking us there, Amanda.
No problem. This is wonderful. I wonder if this is what, when this game was made, was this ever a thought of like, I wonder if anyone will use this to make dancing mechs?
Are you suggesting that we are tormenting and abusing the game in ways that it was not meant to be
No,
played?
I'm just saying, I think this is one of those things where sometimes when we play a game, I feel like we have a tendency to play games in ways that are just unconventional. It's not in a bad way. It's just like more like, I wonder if this was ever something that someone thought might happen.
It's a question. Definitely people have played my games and then I've been like, oh?
How do you feel when that happens? Like if you observe or you hear stories of someone playing your game in a way that you're like, never intended that, is it usually a good thing or is it usually like an unsettling thing?
I would say it's like dead down the middle, 50-50. That's
Depends.
amazing. Hell yes. Lean into it. Maybe even like 70-30. And then the 30 is kind of like uncertainty if they're like getting the intended experience
Right.
out of it. Because
If they're
sometimes
having
if you
fun.
veer off the path, you get lost in the woods.
Yeah.
But sometimes if you veer off the path, you find an abandoned theme park. So
That's
who's
Kurt's
to say?
game, for those who don't know.
that is my
It
game.
takes place in the abandoned
Inside
theme
baseball
park.
here.
Yeah. I think I feel like I've even seen, how we used to fly, Here We Used to Fly played in ways that I didn't expect as a player. Like there are things that I'm like, wow, that's interesting. My mind would never go there. It's also interesting just to see other... I mean, it's different for us. I feel like we're always very much on the same page.
Often, yeah.
Yeah. Although we surprise each other in a good way. So, But you guys have never made a choice that I'm like, I would have never thought that you would go. You know what I mean? That I'm like, oh my.
Oh.
My word. Desist.
And if we ever do, we're off the stream.
Do you... I'll save a story for later if you are curious about people diverging from the path, because sometimes it's fun to hear it. But we've got a game to play.
We might need a halfway story while we buy a break or something.
Sure,
yeah.
Sure. Okay. Speaking of play, we've done the character creation now. We are done. So
Can we, for my benefit, go back over what the hound, what Carsey looks like? Because we threw out a lot of stuff, but I don't know if we ever landed. You know?
Yeah. Are you spinning that now, Amanda?
Oh, I was just getting ready.
Okay, cool. You're clearly ready. Okay, do you want me to just say as I understand it what I'm seeing here?
Yeah.
Our hound is Car C3874, affectionately known as Carsey. Carsey is a dance bot who is used for elaborate athletic displays and dazzling competitions in close and tight performance with their pilot. Carsey is a crystalline figure with many sharp angles and smooth lines and a sort of elegant sideways movement like you might see a crab do. Carsey is piloted by Hayes, who in daily life has a limp, but on stage is a spectacle with a gleaming crystalline helmet and 3 layers of knit ponchos made by his mentor himself and Carsey. Determined and poetic person, Hayes is also obsessive and can be single-minded towards certain goals and other deviations. We start this story where the powers that be have pulled Hayes aside and said, we have to wipe Carsey. We're so proud of what you've done in the competitions, but it's too much, and this is the end of the line for you two. And Carsey and Hayes won't let that happen, so they are escaping. Would you like to know the rules, or would you like to spin and then know the rules?
I will say let us intro the wheel. And then do the rules.
What do we got?
And then we'll spin. How about that?
All right.
Yeah.
All right.
Tell us
so
about
we have
wheel.
2 spins, one from Rapala and one from Danny. And what is on the wheel that you might get, my friends, is we have change the lights. As always, you can change my mic light or you can change my backlight.
We found out you can change the backlight to beige.
You can if you so desire.
Pretty exciting.
And why wouldn't you?
Request beige. You could name an NPC, suggest a tactic, suggest an obstacle, respin, something awful will happen,
Hey.
something lovely will happen, some romance will happen, ooh, spinner's choice, so you choose, or Amanda's choice, I will choose. Danny is, I think, heading out.
So we better spin.
Are we spinning for Danny?
We're spinning for Danny.
Thank you for the 7-stream streak as well, Danny. We'll spin for you before you go to bed.
Little goodnight spin.
Suggest a tactic. So if there's any tactic you would like to see us use during the stream, let us know.
What's an example of a tactic?
See, that's tricky. This is very much an in-play situation. I'll tell you how it works, and Danny, if you got to peace out, understood. In this game, one person's going to narrate until they reach an obstacle, and then the other 2 players pitch a different tactic for overcoming the obstacle.
Right.
So whatever problem they have, let's say it's escaping the authorities, because that's always going to be an option. Danny, if you have any thoughts how they escape the authorities, feel free to throw it out there before you put that head on that pillow. And if you don't, thanks for coming, and thanks for supporting Amanda.
Thank you. Yeah.
So, I'll keep saying words now that we're here.
Yes, say the words, and then we will, after the rules, I will do another spin for Rapala.
Nice.
Darn tootin'. Darn tootin'. All right, that's fine. So,
how do we play this game? We've gotten 50 minutes in.
somebody it's their turn, and they're the ones who are describing what happens when they reach what they are presenting as an obstacle, which has to do with evading the authorities. The other two players suggest a tactic, and then both of those players will roll a d6 and see what the result is. We're going to take half of that value. This number is the stress of their tactic. It is how
stressful it is?
How stressful it is.
Okay.
Sometimes a tactic might seem like a good idea. Maybe you're just going to talk your way easily through high society that you've moved through so many times before. But then maybe that ends up being the most tricky one of all. Based on the stress number and how they like the plan, what they enjoy about the idea, narrative, preclusions, the person whose turn it is, who described the obstacle in the first place, chooses one of the two tactics.
Okay.
And then there's a roll to see if things work out for them. If this was played in real life, we would be stacking dice during that second roll. It would be a dice stacking game, but our kind game designer of the day, Tyler, has developed an entirely online alternative. Cool. So we are using it today. Okay. I won't go through the particulars of that, but suffice it to say, there are certain numbers, and we are trying to not roll all of them, because if we roll all of them, tragic. The hound will lose a memory. A memory is wiped in the damage that ensues. So we will be exploring
if we roll all the numbers.
If all the numbers are rolled over the course of play, we lose a memory. Okay. At some point, we will decide that either the game's story has come to a close or the mech has lost all of their memories, at which point it's our tragic ending for Hayes and Carsey.
Oh no.
That's right.
The sad part of the story.
The sad part of the story.
That's one of the tags on the Twitch stream, and if you were wondering when it comes in, there it is.
There it is. Mm-hmm. There it is. The inevitability of loss, and the persecution of a connection.
DiCarlo is saying, how old is the mech? Any joint issues we should know about? I feel like probably older if they're being put like down, but also maybe not. Maybe something
being wiped. Yeah. So it's a.
We can keep operating, but just as a fresh mech.
Yeah.
I do like the idea of it being old, by the way. Like the idea of there being like these mechs have been around for a while, like maybe older than Hayes. Mm-hmm. They just keep getting rewiped.
Dude, that rules. It sucks. But narratively, that's awesome.
It's cool.
I would love if this mech is like a staple, a fixture of this dance.
How old, Kurt?
Can we say this mech is like 50 years old?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
I like it.
Just keeps getting wiped over and over again when things get too close. But just Hayes is so talented and so single-minded. They're reluctant to pull that proverbial lever.
Mm-hmm. Oh, so even the powers that be, the managers or whatever, have maybe not asked for this wipe as soon as they could have because of the beauty of what's been happening.
And it's gone too far now. So it needs to happen.
Oh, I love it. Also, Peter, what are you confused about? Everything or something specific? Or let us know. Maybe we can clarify for
Who could blame you, though, Peter? Our dance mech is old, and they get mind wiped.
Obvious.
Makes a lot of sense.
Like every dance mech in the world.
Yeah.
DiCarlo, I like all your questions in chat, because we don't even need an official RPG. We could just slowly answer your questions.
Answer DiCarlo's questions.
Can a hound get a virus? I imagine any robot could get a virus,
That might be some of the damage that the hound takes in the process of this.
I'm excited to find out. We'll find out in a bit in this story as we jump in.
Okay, so can I just quickly recap? So
yeah.
On each of our turns, we will be the one who is sort of narrating the scene, or at least beginning to narrate the scene. Mm-hmm. We will tell us sort of where we're at in our escape, and lay out what obstacle we are facing to the other two. Then the other two will both propose tactics for getting over the obstacle.
Yes.
They'll then roll dice that determine how stressful, i.e., difficult, that tactic might be.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then there will be one more roll once the person whose turn it is decides what tactic.
And that roll will determine whether we're successful or not, or whether we take damage or get out scot-free, kind of thing.
And we won't dwell too much on that last bit. Okay. People at home, not seeing the sheet won't get to see numbers crossed off, but suffice it to say, eventually memories will be lost.
Okay. Okay. As we roll more numbers. All right. Then I think I'm ready.
Great.
Is there anything else we need to do?
No, but I would be happy to lead us off if we like.
That'd be great. Please.
Let me spin the wheel one more time for Rapala.
Oh,
Rapala.
Also,
Rapala.
75 stream streak Rapala.
If you would like to spin the wheel and make fun things happen in the game, just you can become a sub or a member or donate a sub or membership, and I'll spin the wheel for you.
Ooh, we could hear the wheel noise. It's great.
Yeah, that's the first time I've ever heard that.
Something awful happens. Oh, we're off to a rough start.
Okay.
Is that where we're going to start?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's the night before the final dance competition that's going to happen with Hayes and Carsey as a duo. And as much as Hayes hates to miss this last dance, all eyes will be on him and Carsey following this competition. There will be no moment to leave, but it's time to leave. So Carsey, Chassis, I want to say, is sitting in the theater hall, sort of backstage area, with the other mechs waiting for the competition day. And Hayes sneaks in and says, "All right, it's time to go." And as Hayes climbs into the chassis, there's his mentor, arms crossed, looking stern as ever. Can someone grab the mentor for me for a second?
Yeah, sure. Hayes. I thought better of you.
Don't stop me.
You know you're not special, right? We've all fallen in love. Just takes strength to stay the path. There are things more important.
Hell, nothing is more important than this. And what me and Carsey... It's time. And you can't stop me.
Hayes, please. You understand that what you're seeing, the spirit you feel on the other side of that connection, it's just you. It's the ultimate self-obsession. Echoes of yourself coming back to you. Come on. You're better.
All sound is an echo, Pell. And all sound is something we feel. Not just here, but through us. It's what makes us move. And everything we do is an echo of what came before. I won't let you say, Hayes says, climbing into the chassis, that this isn't real. It's all that is. I would invite both of you to now propose the way out of this situation.
All right. I think... So this is like the final dance, right, that we're going to do?
This is the night before the final dance. They are... Hayes is trying to escape with Carsey.
Right.
Missing the final dance.
Yeah, they'll skip the final dance.
I think that we should, like... Oh, I think that we should kill our mentor. Is that crazy? It just seems extreme, but I feel like we kind of need something. Like, I don't really know how else we get out of this, so.
Okay. Option 1, Pell dies. Option 2.
Danced
Option
to
2.
death.
Option 2. We convince Pell to come with us.
Okay.
Pell has necessarily had the easiest time here. He has been tormented in his own way by the company, and maybe if we plead hard enough, we can get them to go with us.
Okay.
Okay.
I like that. Wow, these
What are
are
you
two
smiling
very
about,
different.
They really are. Yeah.
Just Peter's reaction in the chat. Peter was like, "What the F, Amanda?" I was like,
I mean, we said
I don't
something
know.
terrible happens
That's true.
was something that had to be at least proposed. I think.
That's
at
good
least
point.
proposed. I mean, I think either way, we can, depending on no matter the outcome of this, we can make something terrible happen from this. I think.
For sure.
But also, we can always make something terrible happen. We're so good at it.
We're so good.
Do we want to say, in lieu of Danny being here to suggest a tactic, do we want to just ask the Twitch chat to see if they want a tactic, since Danny did sub on Twitch? Also,
That
only
is
one
fair.
tubing. Thank you for subscribing over on YouTube. Appreciate you. Keep on tubing.
Keep on tubing.
Yeah.
Oh, no, only one. You only get one. Don't be ridiculous.
So yes, who would? If anyone does have a tactic suggestion, let us know, and we.
In the
will
interim,
use it.
I need both of you to roll a d6.
Okay.
Just one?
Just one? Just one little d6.
Is it a D3 or a D6? I feel like I read it was.
It is a d3, but
Okay.
it's a d6, and we're dividing
Divided by
by
two.
2.
Got it.
I didn't know if that would.
Whoa!
Whoa!
Whoa! Hello, everyone. Welcome in, Raiders. Raiders coming in also while everyone else is on an
Raiders.
ad break, so it's kind of a good time for us, I guess, to say hello. Mentor has a heart attack, says only one tubing. That's, I mean, I don't know. The only thing is, I think it has to be a tactic in the sense that it has to be like something that we can do. Yes, that we can do. I rolled a 3, by the way. Also, hello, Raiders. Welcome on in. My name is
Hey, Raiders.
Amanda. This is my stream. I'm a variety streamer. Thank you so much for the raid. Thank you so much for the raid, Nerd Incorrect. I'll give a little shout out here to Tim. If you guys are not...
do a quick recap of where we're at in the game? And what's going
Yeah,
on?
let's do a quick recap for the Raiders. But also, if you guys are in my channel and you are not following Nerd Incorrect, I have been over there for Codenames Live a few times. It's a super fun. Tim is just a super, like, awesome, hilarious dude. So you guys should definitely go check out Nerd Incorrect, especially if you are like me and you are a major, like, board game, like, just tabletop, like, nerd, which, how convenient you coming in here while we're playing a tabletop RPG. We do this every Monday. I'm a variety streamer, so I stream everything: games, Legos, cosplay, just chatting. We did a Pomodoro yesterday while I did my taxes. It was weird. And today we're playing some role-playing games. We're playing this game called Hounds. It's awesome. You have a mech, and we are telling a story as a group. So myself, my friend Kurt, and Anthony, we're all telling a story together of this mech who is basically has a connection to their pilot, and they're about to be reset. And so instead of being reset, they've decided to run away together. And we are telling the tragic story of that. It's a story about robots. It's a story about love. It's a story about sadness. So if you like those things, if you like mechs and you like sad mechs,
And who doesn't?
who doesn't?
It'll be almost as good as taxes if we
Yeah.
manage to get it right.
Yeah, hopefully. Hopefully one day we'll be as cool as Tax Stream.
Our,
Hey, I mean, no promises, folks.
our hound, which is our mech, is named Carsey. That's their nickname. They are a Car C 3874 model, and they are a dancing mech. That's their function. That's what they do. They dance competitively. And Hayes is their pilot, pronouns he, him. Hayes has a limp, is helmed, has knit lace ponchos, which we also like gave a backstory for about like how you get the ponchos to become a pilot. They were determined and poetic, but they're also obsessive. And their mentor is Pell, and this is the night before the big dance, and they've decided to run away. And our options for tactics are, I have suggested, let's kill Pell.
A great suggestion.
I promise it's not normally who I am. And Anthony has been more level-headed. Anthony, what did you suggest?
I suggested that we convince Pell, our mentor, to come with us and
Yes.
escape this system.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So now these two are both rolling to determine how much trouble either of these routes is going to be.
So we'll
I've
find
rolled a
out.
1.
You rolled a 1.
I rolled a
Yes.
3.
You rolled a on your d6. Okay. So
Yeah, so it would be a
Amanda's
3,
result
right?
is a 2,
Oh,
and
we're still
Anthony's
we
result
still
is a
divided.
1.
Right.
Yeah,
We
it's
divided
like
by 2.
it's half the
Okay. Gotcha.
Um
Also,
Oh, they're
Critter
both
Nation,
chat.
I did not add feathers to my headset. This is actually a headpiece that I got as part of a set that I got from Mo Flavor that's called AI Love. It's like a sexy set, but this headset is part of it, and it was the most robot thing I owned. And it has inspired Hayes' helmet in the game, so I do like that. Yes.
I simply can't not have Amanda's suggestion happen because it's so fucked up.
It's so good.
Amanda, can you roll 2
Hi,
dice for
Anubis.
us? 2 d6s.
Two D6s?
2 d6s.
Okay. This
Doubles
is-
are good.
This is all
Nothing
in
bad
my
can
hands now.
happen yet.
Well,
Yeah.
I got a 6, so that would be a 3. Do we
Yeah,
still
no,
divide
this
these?
time it's just
These
tell me
times
the
they're just
value
there.
of both of the dice.
So we got a 6
Confusing.
and a 1.
Great. Okay, so we are crossing a 6 and a 1 off of our list of numbers 1 through 6. Once all the numbers have been rolled once, a memory is tragically lost and our mech is damaged.
Oh no.
But that doesn't happen right now.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Amanda, since I chose your answer, perhaps you'd like to be the one to tell us all.
About
I
the
have a thought.
murder?
If you don't want to go with it, I have a thought. But
No, I can tell you about it. I did suggest it. It's only fair that I tell you this beautiful story of murder. So I think here's the thing. I think initially the thought was, we're gonna, maybe this is the move. And so Hayes and Carsey approach Pell and are thinking this might be the only way that we can get out of here. And they go to grab Pell's shoulder. Does anyone want to be Pell?
What are you doing?
And as Pell says that, I think something in Hayes melts a little bit. And Hayes goes to answer. But as they do, Carsey has somewhat taken on a bit of a life of their own, being, as we decided, medium self-aware. And in that one moment, they're not synced. And although Hayes has a change of heart, Carsey goes to do a, what do you call it when you spin around?
pirouette.
Pirouette? I wanted to say pirouette, but I thought that was wrong. And I used to do ballet, so I feel like actually I should know that. So basically, Carsey goes to do a pirouette, and the pirouette just right with one of the joints of this beautiful hound smacks Pell across the face.
Ugh.
Half of his jaw is gone.
Holy shit.
And the damage is done. It's too late. And Hayes in that moment is freaking out as he watches Carsey more in control than Hayes has ever felt in this mech, in this moment. Just destroy Pell in front of him.
Wow.
Damn.
Wow.
What do you think of that?
If you guys were looking for combat in the chat, there you go. Our damn
Surprise.
team
Also,
knows how to
I feel like
fight.
that's a good something awful happens because now we have
that's
like
great.
sort of our conflicted, yeah.
Oh, that's horrible. It's
Yeah.
terrible.
It's terrible. Wow.
It's also extremely good.
Yeah. So
Okay, I'm just
good.
gonna cross out the Pell here in our in our little play sheet tracking our characters.
we made one side character, killed him immediately. All right.
Yeah.
All done. Okay. It is now someone else's turn to describe our characters moving forward until they reach an obstacle and presenting that obstacle.
Should we go stream clockwise?
Yeah, let's go stream clockwise. Anthony.
That makes it me. Okay.
Peter says
so
ballerina killer mechs. That is the energy that we are that I am exuding.
If that's not the name of a TTRPG yet, that would be a good
Should be one.
TTRPG.
Don't give me homework, Anthony.
Also, yes, Critter Nation. So we all kind of take turns just playing like everyone in this RPG game because it's just kind of us all telling a story together.
It's a cool design. I'll link the game one more time in the chat. Boop.
I'll link it over on the YouTubes for everybody.
Thanks, Amanda.
You're welcome. A very Fallout death, indeed. I may have been inspired by Fallout a little bit with mine. I may have been thinking about, some power armor. I'm just gonna... Do we consider power armor to be a mech? I don't know. I guess it kind of is.
Yeah?
Definitely, it is zero self-awareness, though. Power armor. Unlike Carsey, who has a mind of their own.
What do you got, Anthony?
Okay.
What happens now?
One of the last things, in that last moment as we sort of came in on Pell, there was that moment's hesitation. Pell, always playing by company rules, reached into his pocket and hit the button on the emergency device that sets off the alarms.
Oh.
Alerts are up, and the yellow lights start to wash across this place as it's quiet. It's the middle of the night. There's not a lot going on here, but attention is being drawn. Guards are coming, and we don't have much time. So poor Hayes, who's just watched his mentor fall to the floor, blood beginning to pool, has no time to stop, to mourn. Either he moves or it's all over. So he moves. Carsey begins to skittle. It's this angular glass box-like thing on top, a myriad of crab-like legs shifting sideways across the stone onyx black floors, reflecting up. And the yellow light shooting through the crystalline body of Carsey would be beautiful if Hayes had a moment to realize it. There's only one way out of the stables where they keep the mechs. And that's through the dance hall itself. Imagine like a massive stadium where in this giant oval dome the dances take place. Normally packed to the rim with people, it is currently empty, except for one of the other dancers who is practicing late into the night before this big dance. The final exit is at the far end of this stadium, and standing between us and the exit is this other dancer. They're inside another mech, which is tall and tower-like, rather than our sort of squat box-like Carsey, but similarly has several large sort of arcing legs. And this one actually does look more like a spider, as we mentioned, and sort of like suspended in the center of this large glass tower is the other dancer, one of our teammates in some senses, one of the people we dance with, but also one of our rivals. Does anybody have a name for this pilot?
Aria.
Aria. I like Aria.
I like it.
Aria has red hair that is long, that like goes past their feet, and they wear it just like loose as they pilot. So it's like flowing about inside of the body of the mech as they're dancing. With the alarms going off, it doesn't take long for Aria to realize what's going on, and the dance sort of stops. And Aria and her mech, which we'll call Glaive, sort of turn towards us. And does anyone want to be Aria, just for tradition's sake?
Sure. I'll be Aria.
To Aria, it's obvious what's about to happen, because Aria witnessed the event of Carsey's awakening that happened just several days earlier. that made everybody start to realize that something was going wrong and that the wipe was required. Do you wanna say what it was?
I think the event was when Carsey deviated from the routine, because we all know that with the mechs, they have data banks, and in their memory cores, they have certain routines that are programmed in through the pilots. Sometimes the mechs do influence the routine when it's being created in the rehearsal process, but this was something that was already pre-programmed, and they deviated from the programming, rewriting it. And after, when they checked, they could see that the code had been rewritten, and there was marks to show that it was not Hayes that had made the last minute call. Hayes did try to claim that it was them that changed it, but
inspiration.
Yeah, it was not. It was clearly not. And I think Arya was one of the people that verified that.
Okay. So she's a bit of a goody two-shoes. She plays by the rules. What does she say when she sees Hayes and Carsey at the other end of the stadium?
Everything all right, Hayes?
And it's laced with knowledge that everything is not all right. After all, the yellow lights of the alarms are passing behind us in the door of the stables. Just a midnight practice, Hayes says, booming through the speakers on the outside of Carsey. I'm gonna need to get past you. I need open air.
What went on behind you there? I can see the alarms going off.
And Hayes' mind starts to spin. There's some options here.
Good segue. Time for tactics.
How are you going to get past
good.
Glaive and Arya?
I'm thinking dance off. I think we can take Arya. I feel like Hayes and Carsey have the advantage in the sense that they can do sort of more improvisational creative moves. So I say that we just challenge Arya to a dance off.
It does sound exciting. Sounds like a great set piece, right?
Or murder. That was the other thing that crossed my mind, but I already played that card, so.
Murder once.
Also, I love how people were like, what about the combat option? And I'm like, I feel like in my mind, I'm like, what about a killing dancing robot? But yes, that's my suggestion. Dance off. Why don't we do a dance off?
Dance off's a great idea. Mm-hmm. Kurt, is anything jumping to mind?
Yeah. Hayes remembers after a particularly nasty tumble one practice, Arya was cast out of the mech chassis and tumbled along the ground, and Glaive knelt by Arya for that moment. Hayes knows it's possible that if invoking that memory at this emotional moment is as potent a memory for them, that could be something that wakes Glaive.
Whoa.
Oh, so wake up the other hound. That's the other. Ooh, both of these are great. I like both of these.
Very, very interesting. Do you have a sense of how you would invoke that memory before we go a step further? No is a fine answer. I was wondering if you knew.
I think it's an appeal that sounds like it's to Arya at first, but it's not to Arya.
That's cool. That's cool. All right, you guys both have to roll dice.
All right.
Right.
1d6
yes.
divided by 2. Tell us how stressful, how damaging this could be if we take your path.
Also, Peter Quill does approve in the YouTube chat. There we go. There you go. I'm using a streamer.
Mine is 3 dangerous. Like that's after the factoring.
That
it's
makes
3
sense.
Dangerous.
Mine is
just
1. Yeah. Which makes sense. 2 divided by.
That doesn't mean you gotta do the good thing. Sometimes you gotta do the thing that's really fucked up.
How do you decide whether you're gonna? Is that just something that you, as the sort of person steering the story in the scene decide which route you want to go.
Yeah, it's not necessarily what's the lowest stress. It could just be
what feels right,
what
especially
feels right.
considering the stress and where that...
Exactly.
Yes, got it.
Stress is one factor
Just wanted
in
to
the
make
decision.
sure I understood that, because I know soon I will have to do this.
You nailed it.
Okay. Here's what I'm thinking. Remember where Hayes is. Hayes has just watched Pal be downed by the very mech that he is supposed to be in control of. And I think Hayes, for all the rough edges of his personality, is not a violent person. And while Arya has been a thorn in his side, doesn't want to hurt her. And he doesn't know what Karsi will do. So he sees an option to take a non-violent path, a path that might appeal to something. And to be honest, he knows that Karsi can feel. And so can't the others? Is there not more soul in there somewhere? And so he remembers that moment where Arya was thrown clean of Glaive. And the moment of passion, compassion that happened. And he tries to appeal to it. I'm not sure if this is cheating, but Kurt, do you want to take the role of Hayes for a second and narrate that appeal, that speech?
Yeah, sure. Don't do this, Arya. You know what it's like, don't you? You remember the day back in the competition? You were thrown, skittered across the ice, skittered across the floor. But you weren't alone in that moment.
Should I roll for damage memory stuff now to kind of get a sense of how this all plays out, or?
Yeah, that couldn't hurt.
Seem right?
Yeah.
All right, I'm rolling. What's that?
I said ice as if it was figure skating.
I like it. There could be ice. Maybe
Maybe
in
sometimes
this
there
one,
is.
Sometimes there's ice. Sometimes there's not.
Yeah.
Depends.
So, to recap, last time we rolled a 1 and a 6 for a 7 in total. Well, I guess the total doesn't matter. We rolled a 1 and a 6, and what we're trying to do is we're not trying to roll as few discrete numbers on the 6-sided dice as we can.
Yeah, we just don't want a 2, a 3, a 4, or a 5, right?
So guess what I've rolled? I rolled 3 dice.
Yeah.
I rolled a 1,
Oh.
a 6,
Oh.
and a 6.
What? Wow.
Scot-free, baby.
This goes as well as it possibly could.
Sounds good. So I think Arya's gonna say, I remember. You're right, I wasn't alone.
But it's not Arya's change of heart that's important here.
It's both.
I think as Arya reaches out with one of her hair appendages in the robot, it's almost like it's moving in complete synergy, as though the two of them are one being. And it's in that moment that you see a dance that you've never seen Arya and Glaive, was it?
Yeah.
Perform before. It's something that has been completely improvised.
Wow.
And Arya loses herself, and you can hear a change in her voice that comes out of the speaker, as though she is now something new. Or maybe it's Glaive that's speaking. And she just says,
Ooh.
Thank you, Hayes. Thank you for seeing us.
It leaves the dance floor open for a moment as Glaive and Arya spiral around the outside, and the pathway's clear. Hayes and Karsi skitter across the stadium and hit the button on the side, and the great gold gates begin to open. Freedom, or at least the chance at it, lies on the other side. And that's our scene.
Very cool. I feel as we come outside, we see outside of the compound the twinkling of lights on water. But there's still the gate for us to cross. These mechs are highly technical, highly expensive equipment. And there are certain security checks that you have to pass before you can leave with them.
Ooh, yeah.
Now, while Hayes does have the clearance, the alarms are blaring. So that might pose some concerns, as well as the fact that everyone in the compound knows that Carsey is about to be wiped. So not normally a mech that we would let off base.
What kind of reasons would there be to move a mech off base?
That's a good question.
I guess it's probably external shows and special.
I mean, this is one arena that we perform in with the rink. So there could be other arenas. There could be other performances that you might go to in different places, in different countries. You might be going to a competition. There's some reasons that you could need to leave for sure. Could have to do with needing a repair somewhere else, a specific mechanic.
Yeah, that's a good point.
However, tonight is the night where one of the most experienced guards people is on shift.
Ooh.
Bad luck.
They are already standing outside of their post. You can see it in the distance under a single lamplight. The light comes down green in the night. And although you can see the harbor just beyond, the twinkling lights across the water, the boats bumping lightly up against the pier, so close, that escape. But you have to first get past Buckham. Buckham, who is the guards person. Buckham already has a laser weapon drawn.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Nice.
And appears to be aiming it right at you. And there's quite a bit of distance between you and Buckham. Buckham is also the second best shot on the base.
Yeah.
Thanks for giving us a little bit of leeway. Just second best.
Second best.
I also like we didn't need to know the guards' details, but it's so much better that we do.
So nice.
Yeah, I'm imagining Buckham is pretty tall. Has their left ear is like heavily pierced, and they're wearing like this sort of like metallic like guard suit that's very angular. And while they don't have a mech, they do have sort of like an armor, like I'm imagining kind of like sci-fi pauldrons is what like I'm imagining, like over top of their garb and like, you know, helmet and everything. I think maybe there's like a doily like patch like to just sort of say like what jurisdiction they are, you know, like they work in the dance compounds.
Right. Okay. The dance compounds. The doily is the official symbol for the dance compound somehow. Okay, that's good. I like that.
Also, thank you for the hydrate, Christopher, and the posture check and the stretch.
There's also a hydrate from Rapala. Double hydrate.
Oh, sweet. Double hydrate.
We love hydration in this house.
Mm-hmm. Very important before you go deal with Buckham that you get hydrated.
Yeah, you need hydration before you somehow get around to guard.
So what do you guys do? What are your suggestions here? Let's talk tactics.
I've got a proposal.
Okay.
I think that Buckham and Hayes have a bit of a history. Remember that Hayes is obsessive and often looks for fulfillment outside of himself. Mm-hmm. And I think Buckham shares some of those moments. some of those traits, what is often undiscussed, perhaps, is that interface with a bionic mind not only serves its usefulness, but it also can be quite pleasurable, can be an out-of-body experience, even a hallucinogenic experience in some cases.
Is there a time when you and Buckham maybe experienced this together, or how did that come about when you found this out about Buckham? Like, what was that like?
So Hayes, maybe in a younger and more mischievous phase, would sneak into the stables and interface with hounds that were not his own. Not typically allowed, because
my.
it can kind of mess with the programming, with the interface with the pilot, but the sensation, the exploration of it, to meld your brain into a completely new shape, is exhilarating. No one was supposed to know, and one time in the stables, he comes across Buckham, turns down an alleyway and sees Buckham at the end, and he thinks that he is, fucked, unfortunately. Here is the lead guard, second best shot in the whole place. He's in trouble. But then he sees the spiraling cord exiting the hound behind him, tucked up behind Buckham's ear and into the cerebral implant on the side of his head. He's a sampler as well. And so that's where our tactic comes from.
Right.
I'm suggesting that we offer Buckham the chance to interface with Carsey. To stop for a moment, to unplug ourselves, and to let Buckham experience what it's like in a nearly awakened hound. And maybe that would be enough to convince him to let us pass.
I like that you also came up with a terminology for it. Samplers. That's what it's called. Samplers.
Samplers.
Wow. Cool. All right. What do you got, Kurt? What are you thinking?
Now is not the time for interfacing. We simply don't have time. Now is the time to act. And so a second part of the mind of Hayes considers, what if I were to just twist this crystalline body in just the right way to reflect and refract that laser beam away. Maybe I could even start a little fire with the beam, create some chaos behind me, and cover my escape.
Wow, that's very tactical. I like how tactical it is. I also like how you're using the shape of the hound. That's cool. That's sick. That's sick. Cool.
Let's check them danger numbers.
Check it out. Roll.
My danger number is 2.
2.
Mine is 3.
3. Ooh.
What's it gonna be? B?
I mean, they're both pretty dangerous in the way of danger. Do I want to go? I mean, I do. I like both of these. These are both good. Like, one feels very sexy, and the other one feels very like action based, like very exhilarating. Chat, do you have any preferences between these two? Let it be known if you do in this moment. I feel like, Peter, you seem to be going the way of the sampling. You seem to be here for sampling, based on your comment. Yeah, I think I'm going to go interface as Riddalog. Okay. All right. I think I'll go with chat on this one, and I'll say, yeah, let's get a little sexy up in here. Let's see some interfacing, or let's see what that looks like when you try. I don't know if Buckham's gonna go for it.
Right. Yeah. You had to convince Buckham that this is.
You do.
Yeah.
Does one of you want to play Buckham?
Kurt, do you want to? I mean,
sure. Yeah. Yeah, I can take it. Don't make a move. Got you in my sights.
Do you want me to play Hayes, Amanda?
Yes, yeah. Yeah,
Okay.
this is your tactic, so
Okay.
I feel like it's appropriate.
Yeah.
And I guess I roll 3 dice?
Yeah.
Okay.
Fuck. It's me. I know. I know this doesn't look good for you. It doesn't look good for me, but I've got a midnight maintenance appointment. If you know what I mean.
Guys, I just rolled 2 4s and a 3. So that's 2 more marks, which I just put down for us.
All right.
Thank you so much.
Mark off the 4 and the 3.
So I don't know if it's going to go so well.
I mean, we're going to come out undamaged for now.
For now.
For now.
Fuck, I can make it worth your while.
Trains the laser. You can see the little dot.
Like I imagine it's like kind of refracted through the outside of Carsey, so like the green dot is kind of like sort of like frayed across my chest.
Imagine it like almost glows outward, as though like you're illuminated in the night.
Right, in this green laser light. Mm-hmm. Hey, easy. Carsey's he's changed. It's wild in here, man. The shape is like it's sparkly. it's like there's someone there on the other side. Like you plugged right into to not a machine, but another sampler somewhere out there.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't want to put you at risk, but this is too good to pass up. I don't have to hog it all myself.
The array of laser pinpoints drifts downwards as Buckham hops off the guard post and walks up to you. You better not be fucking with me. This better be good.
You'll let us through, right? You promise?
Fine. But I didn't see you, and you didn't see me.
Of course. For a second, Hayes closes his eyes and taps into Carsey. There's gonna be someone else in here. Be nice. And he pulls the probe from the bionic implant.
Buck plugs in, and it only takes a second, but you see a world flash over his eyes. And he doubles over, panting, which pulls the cord out from the mech right away. And you can see his eyes go wide. All he can do is whisper, "Get out of here. Run."
Tap him on the back, and I pull myself back up into Carsey. Let's go.
Okay.
Is that the scene, Amanda?
Yeah. Perfect.
Skittering across the water there's a bright reflection of the moon on this. I want to say it's a salt lake. It's a vast salt lake.
Okay.
Beautiful, picturesque. When you sit in that arena, you can see for miles. But nobody's watching right now. Nobody but Hayes and Carsey skimming over the water. And then a sound. I'm sure Zoom doesn't like that sound. A sound, little percussive, repeating, mechanical, a hum. A vehicle's making chase, flying low, moving in. It's one of those transport jets that once upon a time you might be honored if you were hooked up after a competition and paraded about town, hanging from the cable.
Cool.
But this isn't that. Not now. And that grapple hook is reaching out. What do? Let's hear some tactics.
Some tactics. Anything jump immediately to mind, Amanda?
I think we grab the hook and pull it into the lake. Just pull it out of the sky.
Pull the jet down?
Yeah.
Oof.
We do a little, I mean, obviously water dancing I think is something that we've done before. And
only the best can.
Only the best can. And we're the top. So I think we jump onto that hook and just try to basically do like a spin down into the water. Do some leg kicks. Make it pretty. But ultimately we're bringing that jet down with the dance moves.
Cool.
Also, hello, ChemDog. Welcome to our lovely weird stream.
Dance mechs escaping authorities. Totally normal.
Totally what we do. It's Monday night, baby.
It's Monday night, baby.
It's just Monday night. Now, just so I can make sure I'm differentiating our tactics, does your tactic involve diving into the water? Is that what we're doing?
I think it's like a swing and then like, yeah, like I guess it would be a dive. It would be like a jump and then like I was thinking like a jump and a pull, but it's kind of hard to pull on stuff if you don't have something to grip, you know. So I guess it would be like just like swing over it and then pull it down as you dive. Yeah. I guess our weight would pull it because I don't know how heavy we're.
You jump up, pull it down, kind of thing.
Yeah. Thank you for the hydrate, Rapala.
Cannonball.
Cannonball. So graceful. The most graceful cannonball you've ever seen.
I'm going to suggest instead a complete evasion tactic. Mm-hmm. As we've said before, Karsi is not necessarily new, but the crystal bodies are designed to be airtight. And once upon a time, when these machines were younger, underwater shows were actually not uncommon. It's a bit of a lost art now, but Hayes, ever obsessive, has taught himself to do things that have been forgotten. Pell, of course, remembers. It's risky, because it's hard to know whether the water will get in or not. It's hard to know if the airtight seal will hold. But I suggest we dive down to the bottom of the salt lake, and for a time evade capture there among the fish.
So yours is like more of like a sleek, like dive in like quietly, whereas mine is kind of, I feel like more of, yes, a cannonball perhaps tactic.
Or belly flop, yes.
Cannonball into, I'm assuming, like some cool, like maybe like scissor legs in the water, and then we like flip upside down. That's what I'm thinking.
Mm-hmm. Shall we figure out the risk involved?
Let's figure out what's more risky. I feel like I know what oh yeah, well that feels about right.
What'd you get?
3.
That does seem right. And I got a 2. I think those are good numbers for the things we've suggested.
Yeah.
I love the underwater shows too much not to have that be the course that we make. So right. I guess I roll 2d6?
You do. That I mean, at least that's the way we play it.
Great.
Look at that little rolling face Kurt's got.
All right,
He's excited to roll.
So.
Okay.
I rolled... Well, I'll tell you, I rolled 2 dice because the stress was 2 for this action.
Yeah.
And there are numbers 1 through 6.
Yeah.
The only ones unchecked were 2 and 5. I rolled 2 and 5.
No!
What that means is that there is a narrow escape, but our hound is damaged. So first we're going to go through that.
Ooh, okay.
Karsi shoots an idea up to Hayes as Hayes considers their options. Karsi beams up the signal. Under the water. We can fly, we can swim, We can move quickly. My joints remember.
That's so cool.
They dive. And like clockwork, every motion is perfect. Diving down to the bottom, skimming along that benthic bottom of this salt lake, but there's not as much water as there used to be in this lake when things were cooler many years ago. Water has evaporated away. It's more saline, harder on those old joints. A little water seeps in, a little salt corrodes, and there's a little spark, a flash, as one of the memories Carsey holds and that they're fleeing to protect is lost. It's now our job to describe or play out a flashback to this memory, an emotional moment between Carsey and Hayes.
That's something we're about to lose.
This is
Forever.
what we lose.
Okay.
Can I make a proposition?
I would love to hear that.
I think it's the first time that they dance together.
So sad.
I know.
But you're right. That's
think
what it
you're
is.
right. Do you want to
I think
set it up for us a bit?
I think it was a water show. It was a water dance because, as you said, Kurt, that is the thing that these mechs were initially specialized in, and now I feel like water dancing has become such a lost art. It's just not as popular as it once was. It's kind of like just not as trendy, I guess. People aren't really into the water shows. They're much more into aerial space shows and skating shows. Even like astral plane dance performances with the mechs where they transpose themselves onto another dimension of being. But this first time that they danced together, it was special. It was Hayes had just earned their final poncho. And they had been curious about the mechs. This was before they were a frequenter of the stables. They were young, but there was a sweet naivete to them. They were innocent and they were nervous. And they remember meeting Carsey back when Carsey was just Carsey 3874. And when they jacked in for the first time, I think there was a few words. 4 words that Carsey said to them that just put Hayes completely at ease and made them feel as though they could do this dance and that they were going to destroy it. Does anyone have any idea what those 4 words are? Do you guys want me to?
Yeah.
Anyone has any other thoughts?
It wasn't the moment that Hayes got in. It was during that performance. Mm-hmm. And the words came unbidden. Strange, because to have a thought enter your mind that's not your own is unsettling. But the words felt so much like the poems that Hayes would think to himself. Moving, gliding, reaching, art. These little actions, tiny glimpses, almost a narration, but a feeling instead.
And I think that it's something that Hayes used to repeat to Carsey at the beginning of each performance. It was like their mantra that they shared. But with a little flicker, Carsey jitters and Hayes can feel that memory fading. gone.
Fuck. All right. Well, that's what we signed up for, isn't it? Well, you guys didn't sign up for anything. You just show up
You
on
show up
Mondays,
here.
and I'm like, today we're gonna be sad.
I love it.
Sad, but also weirdly like cool. Like this is like such an interesting game, just because I feel like at moments it's like high octane, but then it's also like then we cry.
Cry octane.
Cry octane. Oh, that's sad. Means that Hayes will have but Hayes does Hayes have those memories still? I'm assuming it like Hayes has the memories, but Carsey loses them.
I think so.
Yeah,
So it's
that
like
makes
now
sense
if
to
Hayes
me.
were to say that to Carsey just wouldn't know what that meant. Wouldn't understand the context of it anyways.
Yep,
That's so sad.
it is sad.
Oh. Weirdly cool is it. I agree, Peter. Weirdly cool. That's how it goes.
It's the only kind of cool anybody ever calls me.
Also, did I do a hydrate for you, Christopher? I'm gonna do another hydrate. I'm like almost out of water. I might have to get more.
Yeah, I'm running that too.
All right. Wow. Well, so now what? We're wet?
So now what? What is this?
We've made distance between us and the arena
Okay.
by moving through the lake. There's the question, I guess, of we can touch on overarching structure and timing as it comes to us, I think. This is just me floating that this will end when we decide it ends,
Yeah.
I would say, given the nature of the one shot. So
There's like a limit to the number of memories you can lose if you're playing long enough, kind of thing.
yeah, you could just lose all the memories,
Everything.
and that's tragic. And in fact, I
Oh.
think reading between the lines of the text, that's maybe the ending that it in some ways expects to happen. But that's
I think that's what it suggests in the rules, but I also feel like there might be an alternative ending that you could have where
there's
maybe-
it's explicit in the rules that there's we can have a more I
Like
guess
hopeful
limited
ending?
run and hopeful ending sort of situation. It's pretty clear about that. Yeah.
Okay.
Cool.
So like
Cool.
it's kind of just like when you feel like you reach the ending, and then this is like if you want to max it out where you could be. Maximum
Yeah.
sadness.
If you play this game all the way through, it will always be tragic at the end. But that's
Is this
not
supposed to be a single session, or is this like you could break it up and play it in a couple sessions?
it's
Can it be a
presented
campaign?
multiple options. It
Can-
can
Can it
can
campaign?
it be a campaign?
if we
I want to
do
see
a
Glaive
second-
again.
If we can do a second RPG channel after we eventually this spins off into its own RPG channel, I feel like
Will
the
it
other one we
campaign?
could do is can it campaign?
In a campaign. It's so good. It harkens back to like early YouTube when there was like all the microwave channels and the like will it blends, but this is
Yeah.
us taking one shots and like contorting them into full campaigns.
Can we extend them? How far can we play it before we're like, this is done. We're done with this. Yeah, this is sad.
Can I take us to the next scene?
You must.
Please,
Oh wow! All right. Not only can I,
you
but
have
I
no
must.
choice.
We stay underwater, even though Hayes knows that it is doing damage to Carsey. At least one memory has been lost, and maybe others. But the searchlights are up above, and so he tries not to come up above before reaching the shore, trying not to come up in the open water. As the shore begins to climb back up, Carsey makes way, the crab legs sort of pushing back against the water as we shoot up to the shore. Here on the banks of the great city, we crawl out onto a quiet part of the harbor and disappear down a side lane. Here, the city is dense, the buildings thin and built too tall to stand. Somewhat precariously, they sort of tower above us, some of them tilting this way and that. The fiber optic cables glowing bright greens and yellows and golds that run up the sides of the buildings, bringing connections in to the people who live inside. We're trying to make our way silently now. The buildings provide cover, which is good, from the search jet that's still coming after us. Occasionally we can see the beam of light cross over the buildings, but the shadow here protects us until we come out into a broader street. A night market is taking place. There are people selling music. There are people dancing without mechs in the street. There are people selling food of all sorts and clothing. And we've kind of taken a wrong turn and suddenly emerged into the opening. And all eyes are immediately on us. You can hear a child who shouldn't be out this late cry, "It's Carsey!" And people start moving in. A celebrity sighting. One of the dancers is here in the city streets. What an incredible part of this night market. And the crowds are tightening in from all directions. We have to be careful. If we move too hastily, people might get hurt, but the search jet won't be held off forever. How are we going to get out of this one? Any ideas, any tactics here? As we are surrounded in the night market by fans, perhaps.
I would say we could. I was gonna say, well, I'll let you go first, Kurt.
Okay. I didn't want to take yours because I kind of thought, I know how Amanda likes to get out of situations.
What?
But
by
here we
killing
go.
People?
I was thinking dancing. So here's how this goes. If you've ever been in a group of people, perhaps someone listening or someone playing with us today has been to a more formal kind of dance, a ballroom, a jazz night, something where everyone knows the steps. And the only way that you can get space on a dance floor where everyone's focused is to take it. Make big movements, create a place for yourself. And putting on a show, riling up a crowd, is not the worst way to make a scene. Sometimes it's easier to get lost when there's a lot going on. And so they do what they do best. Put on a performance.
Love it. That's interesting. That's cool.
I think, yeah, that is kind of what I was thinking. It was one of the routes I was thinking we could take. That's true.
You kind of stole my thing, to be honest.
No, that's why I wanted to let Kurt go first in case that's what he was thinking. I have an alternate proposition for us.
Okay.
I think instead we just try to use our stardom here. So not performing, but more we're gonna basically try to rally our fans around us and offer to kind of like do a digital signing.
Okay.
Where we can basically like imprint on people's items. Imprint on people's own memory cores if they are, part cybernetic. And kind of do an impromptu signing here and kind of use everyone as like, if anyone does come in, the idea is we'll have so many civilians around us, like we'll be completely protected.
Okay, so try to draw in even more crowds.
Yeah, bring more people in, use the star factor, and then that way we can kind of move through doing our signing and be shielded at all sides.
Okay.
Because then they can't get to us.
I love it. Very interesting.
Yeah.
Can I see the difficulty, the danger of both of these options, please?
Mine is a 3.
Oh, mine rolled. Mine rolled literally onto Grogu like this, so I don't know if that counts.
That's not a number.
Always re-roll a Grogu.
You gotta re-roll a Grogu. How did you do that?
I don't know. Oh,
Kinda
yeah. So that would be we round up, I'm assuming. Or we round down.
Yeah.
Round up. Round up?
Down,
Yes.
down.
Down.
What? No.
Wait,
One?
no, up.
One
Yeah,
divided by
up.
2 is a 1.
I'm just
3.
having bad math
Mine's a
moment.
3. Mine's a
That's
3.
also a
Stress.
3?
Yeah. Both these are stressful. I mean, that makes sense to me. They're both.
Yeah, it's a bad situation.
It's kind of a. It's not. Neither of them are really like amazing. We're kind of just in
Yeah.
a tough situation here. I feel like.
Yeah, it is a tough situation. I can't decide which one to do. I think just for the resonance of what we do here, I think we've got to dance. We're in a new place, a new setting for our dancing. I wanna see a dance here. Hayes taps the button for the speaker and says, "Make space. I want to show you one of my favorite steps." And people immediately understand. Clearing backwards, making an impromptu dance floor, a circle in the center of this night market. I said there was music before, and so the music starts playing louder now. The local musicians realize that they have this opportunity. They must play for the spirit of the crowd, for this incredible moment. And they begin to play this sort of multi-temporal beat, sort of overlapping drums on top of each other, building this kind of almost like nervous sort of bursting energy in the street. And Hayes, Hayes's mind is rushing, I think. Hayes is focused on the searchlights as they pass across the fronts of the buildings in front of him. But Carsey, who was built to dance, who only knows dance, Carsey knows what to do. And Hayes doesn't really even quite recognize it as the steps start. The clattering of the claw-like crab legs matching the beat, this sort of multi-temporal beat. It's 12-4 with the right legs and 13-4 with the left legs, and they begin to spiral through the center of this kind of bewitching rhythm that's just like hard to keep track of. I'm gonna roll some dice here just to get a sense of what damage befalls our
I'm gonna
machine here.
suggest, like, I don't know if there is like synth house music, but if that exists, that's what I'm imagining in my mind. So if that exists, put that on underneath this scene because I feel like that's perfect. I feel like actually just listening to synth music while you're watching the stream feels right to me.
It feels right. I keep
Only makes
hearing
sense.
some like wave synth sort of stuff happening in the background for this campaign. Sorry,
I almost just put it on myself so I could listen to it. And then I was like, no, I can't do that while I'm streaming.
I can't. All right, we've gotten off not too bad. I rolled a 6 and a 4 and a 6, so that's
Okay.
2 numbers in total. I've rolled a lot of 6s. I wish we were playing a different game because I'm really doing great. Yeah. Does anybody have does anything flash for anybody in terms of like where this scene ends or any like particular moment that happens in the night market before I bring our scene to a close?
Amanda's next to go. So this is most pertinent for Amanda.
Yeah, but I think I want to take a suggestion from you guys actually.
Okay, let me wrap up this scene and spin you in a
Give me
new
some
direction.
inspo.
Okay, all right.
Need input.
There is one of the stalls here is a hacker, sort of an open source hacker who like remixes all sorts of devices, giving them features that are not strictly legal but quite useful. And it's well known that at close ranges, you can interfere with a cybernetic connection, use the cables like radio wires, and communicate with anybody in that bond. And the hacker, the remixer, is sitting at the table and sort of straps in his headset and wires into Hayes, and with a crackly voice as Hayes is dancing, sort of says, "What are you doing here? I know you're not supposed to be here. The jet's nearby."
Oh, wait, do we even play that? Is that the end of the scene?
I think there's one more beat, perhaps, if you want a suggestion, Amanda.
I was gonna say, I was gonna be Hayes. I was just ready to.
What were you gonna say?
Actually, can I be Carsey?
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think Carsey says, "The jet is nearby, and yet we will not be on it. We have evolved, and we will not go with you. Just as you cannot stop our movements here, you cannot capture us."
That's the spirit. There's tunnels beneath the city. Awakened ones sometimes find their way down there. There's a sewer grate at the end of the road. Do with it what you will. And I think that the crowd has opened up somewhat as the dance continues. And Carsey's rhythmic beat sends them spiraling down the street, away from the crowds and the darkness at the end.
I think the crowds cheer behind them and applaud. And we can hear that echo as we dance further and further into this town. And we dance to a place that is devoid of people. It's eerily silent. There are a few people lingering in doorways. It looks like it might be a part of town where maybe some more shady things happen. And it is here where we can see the entrance to the tunnels. But there is a choice. We could go in the tunnels, as was suggested, if we trust that intel. But there also seems to be, at the edge of this town, an airfield. And while tunnels are obviously great because we get to be concealed underground, there is a consideration where Hayes and Carsey think about how fast the jets move. They are impossibly fast. And who's to say that when they get out of this tunnel, the jets might not be waiting there for them if they were somehow able to track them. So, would it be best to stay underground and maybe move a bit slower? Or would it be best to grab a jet? You might be more visible, but you'll be able to move faster.
Amanda, I think you have suggested two tactics.
I guess I have, but I mean, like, this is kind of just like what... I mean, I guess I need an obstacle here.
If any leap to mind. Or you can choose one of your own tactics, and we can...
Yeah, if you want your turn to be Amanda...
No. I'm just laying the scene.
I don't know. I feel like we got a couple options proposed there, and we might as well run with them.
I feel like
alternative setup. Amanda, you roll both the difficulties for both those directions. Kurt and I collectively decide which way to go.
Yeah.
And then you tell us what happens.
We're spinning it back on you now.
All right. Okay.
Amanda gets an anti-turn.
This is this
we made our own game.
now we're making a new game. Now, people watching this in the future will be like, wait a minute. Tyler
Anybody
watching
who
this in the
just wrapped
future.
their minds around the rules.
Wait.
Wait
We're
a
doing it
minute.
backwards now, baby.
Oh, so they're both
Sorry, Tyler.
2, actually. So I rolled a 3 and a 4. So 3 rounded up, cut in half is 2, and then 4 is a straight 2. So
Okay.
they're both 2.
So we've got the airfield or the tunnels.
Which is
to
good because I
decide on.
didn't assign these dice before I rolled them. So that would have been weird if I just rolled them. I would have had to assign them. I would have been like, wait, I got to
You wouldn't
re-roll.
even know.
So they're both being even is perfect. Yeah,
Anthony,
so what do you think?
I'm tempted to say the tunnels, Anthony. Because what kind of weird stuff's in there?
What kind of
Chad
weird
is
stuff's
also
in those tunnels?
here is a resource if anyone has passionate feelings. Feel free. I feel like this is a really fun game where, like, if anyone has passionate feelings and chat about our tactics, like,
Yeah, it's
good to speak your piece.
It's nice to hear some input.
Uh-huh.
Peter Quill officially confused again.
Confused part 2.
You've been here the whole time, man.
Officially confused. Well, yeah, but we're breaking the rules now. Now
are
we're
breaking
rule
the rules,
breakers.
yeah,
It's
nobody
true.
knows.
We're
Peter's
sinning,
like,
we're
now I'm
sinning.
confused because this is not what the rules state. And it's like, this is true.
Yeah, Peter's got the Hounds zine open to page 19, and it's like, I don't know about this,
That's not
actually.
in
This
there.
How
this-
thing goes.
doesn't feel faithful to the intent
Chemdog
of the
says,
design.
rules? What are these rules you speak of? See, now everyone's confused. See, we've really done it. We've really put our foot in this one.
Anthony, what's your vibe?
I think we're going into the tunnels, Amanda.
All right,
You
roll
wanna
them,
take us
Amanda.
there?
2 dice.
Hey. A 2 and a 3. Not great, but not.
Now we have 4, 6, 2, 3, all crossed out.
Oh, we have 4 too.
Oh, 4 and 6. Okay, I didn't cross those
Oh.
out. But
I didn't
Oh,
have
that's
to do that.
that's actually not very good, is it?
hey, I mean, these things happen. It's actually kind of bad.
That's actually kind of bad. Now
Okay.
that I'm looking at it here, I'll show the people at home our amazing doc, which is also you could see it earlier in the stream as well. But if you guys wanted to see, this is where we're at. So if we get a 1,
The people want spreadsheets.
oh, they
want
demand, and if we get a 5, if those get X's on them, then we're gonna lose another memory here, which would be sad, probably, because our last one was pretty sad.
Amanda, do you want to tell us what it's like as we go into the tunnels, or do you want
Yeah,
to...
I'll tell you. So we go into the tunnels, and the tunnels are actually really nice in the tunnels. It's real nice down here. It's pretty well lit. Like little fairy lights dotting the sides of the tunnels, I'm imagining. And the tunnels are actually, like, finished. Like, they're not carved out like you'd imagine, like, secret tunnels to be. It's like a chrome hallway with these fairy lights at the top and just kind of like an LED light running along the midline of the hall that seems to glow, kind of alternating, I would say, from like a purple to a blue to an orange. Basically like the colors, like some of the colors that you might see on this sweet overlay that Kurt made us. Kind of like, you know, just cycling through these 3 colors in a nice calm manner. It obviously Hayes's sense of smell, I imagine, is somewhat dimmed, but it also smells like sweet in this hallway. Like literally sweet. Like someone's baking something.
Can I grab the mic?
Please do.
None of this is surprising
Of
to
course.
Hayes,
Oh.
who has been a long customer of the glittering underlight. These
Ooh.
tunnels where high society can get whatever they want to at the right price. And as Hayes has rubbed elbows with powerful people who sit in the front rows of these shows, pay a great amount of money to do so. And Hayes has not led an easy life, but the money sure helped. Except when sometimes it led him places that he really shouldn't have gone. And one of those places in the Underlight is to Marin, his purveyor. Marin will get you what you need. It's just a question of price. And whether that's sampling tools, or access, or information, or a way to spend a night, there are many things Marin can get you.
Can I ask, has Hayes met Marin before?
Oh, they know each other well.
Has Carsey met Marin before?
I don't think so. It would be unusual to take a mech of this pedigree to a place like this.
Mm-hmm.
You can, if you sign the right forms or grease the right elbows, you can do it. It's not something that's never been down here, but most of the mechs down here are either simple, almost, what is the word for it? Kinetic sculptures? Twisting in the light, reflecting and dazzling, or are rudimentary.
Like service
bots, yeah.
Mm.
Something that doesn't need the higher function of a hound.
Mm-hmm.
Today, Marin is leaning over an oven and pulling out a rack of baked goods, which aren't for the faint of heart. Marin has seen it all, but still her eyes widen as Hayes and Carsey enter her shop. There is a palpable sense here that this is the way to get where we need to go. But Marin doesn't give away anything for free. What do you do?
I think that we should seduce her.
That's good. That's good. I think that we should offer her Carsey's body. All we want to keep is the mind.
Whoa.
Wow. Scandalous.
Wow.
You're trying to seduce her.
I know, but somehow I thought I was going to be the most... You out-scandalized me, and I chose seduce. What
Yeah,
the
just
heck?
race here.
Goodness. Phew, Lord. Okay.
Lord.
Tell me some numbers, because these are some options, folks.
Wow.
I've got a 1.
Mine's a 3. How is yours less?
I have no idea how mine's a 1, but...
I guess maybe we know that that's like a pretty safe bet is like something that someone would be into, I guess. It's like, it's pretty safe to just offer that, probably be taken.
It's a lot to
But maybe
risk.
mine's riskier, more stressful because it's like, you know, we gotta...
It's more uncertain.
We gotta play the romance, and like we don't know if Marin's gonna be into it this
Right.
time.
Or maybe paying a heavy price gives you some sense of security, but you're still paying a heavy
Maybe
price.
it's stressful because like we have like feels for Marin, and it's like, you know.
That's the problem. And that's also why, I was gonna pick Anthony's until you said that.
Oh.
Now I can't. I need it. I need it to be
I think it might be
all mixed up.
It might
Somebody
be,
has spun the wheel and spun romance.
yeah.
They've spun the wheel of my heart. I'll be rolling 3 d6s as we do.
Mm-hmm.
I rolled a 3,
Oh.
a 4,
Oh.
and a 5.
Oh. Close.
Which means that we check
to
off
not-
one more.
Close to
One
having a
more.
narrow escape, but so far we're good.
We still have a 2 left. Okay, I'm keeping track.
Yeah.
We have a 1 left, I believe.
I am not keeping track. I don't look at those sheet apparently.
Yeah. Okay. So, I think we need to play this out because It's too juicy not to do it.
It's pretty
So-
What role are you playing, Kurt?
I'd be happy to take anyone. We've got 3 roles that could play a part in this.
Oh, true. Yeah, that's a good point. Amanda, is there a role that you wanted? You were the seduce suggester.
I did suggest seduce. I'm cool to play. I'm cool to play anyone, honestly. If you guys want me to play Hayes and seduce, I will
Sure.
seduce.
I'll grab Marin,
Okay.
I suppose.
So then, are
And
you
then,
Carsey?
I'm Carsey in the
All
back.
right. Okay.
Beautiful.
Carsey in the back. All right. I guess I'm gonna.
Oh, says Marin, with those eyes that always seem to see right through Hayes
I haven't
every
even said
time.
anything yet. Okay.
You don't need to.
All right.
Marin says, oh. Oh, you're in trouble this time, aren't you?
Well, and I think it's at this point like the mech kind of like pulls back so that you can see like Hayes's face, and like
I think the chassis can open, and certainly
I think his
moving through.
collarbones as well. I think he's
Underneath
got.
the doilies.
I'm imagining the ponchos are like kind of like a little V is what I'm imagining.
Whoa.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm just imagining he's got great collarbones, so
Mhm.
just gonna put that out there. And I think he kind of like just like puts a hand to his head and he's like, oh, yeah, I may have gotten into some real trouble this time, Marin, and I might need some help.
What is this feeling?
And I think Hayes thinks like, not now, Carsey. I'm busy doing something. We'll talk about it after.
Marin smiles and walks up to Hayes, tracing a finger along that collarbone. Says, "This is your problem, Hayes. When you want something, you always just take it. Well, maybe not always."
We've taken a new shape. Stuttering.
I didn't come to take anything this time. I just came to see you. Might be the last time. Look, they're after me.
She shakes her head. She says, "No. We can do one of 2 things. Either you're here for me, or you're here for what I can give you. Not both."
And I think Hayes looks Marin right in the eyes and says, Marin, when have I ever been able to resist you? And I think while still wearing Carsey, he kisses her.
It's not hard to imagine if you've ever seen Carsey dance. The elegant swoop that brings them together for a moment, framed behind by those twinkling lights down here, so far from the sun above. But that moment's for them. What we see is a long embrace, a quiet goodbye, and a key card to a tunnel much less used and much more discreet. The way is open.
We chitter down the long, empty hallway. And Carsey is silent for a long time, and then says, "I did not know you interfaced with another." I realize I am but a backup dancer to you. there are greater bonds. I thought ours was perfect. But I do not know love.
I think Hayes says to Carsey, our bond might be different. But don't ever say that. It doesn't mean that I don't have impossibly strong feelings for you, Carsey. You're the only person that I could imagine doing this with. I couldn't be out in the world without you.
Why me? I am almost nothing, and all that I am is woven of you. You don't want me. You shouldn't have me. And you shouldn't throw everything else away.
At the end of the day, though there's all these other people in the world, you're the only person that's ever truly seen me. You know everything about me. And still you stand by me. What more is there than that? What closer bond is there than that? You are beyond beautiful to me. Because you truly accept me. And together we've moved like no other dancers have. Not in my lifetime.
There's a long, uneasy silence in the corridor. And maybe if you're listening carefully, you can hear the faraway echoes of heavy boots on titanium floors. But after a moment, Carsey speaks up again. Do you have the key card?
Yes.
Where is it?
It's... Wait. It was just...
In the front pincer of Carsey, held very carefully, is the key card. And the chassis opens, and in one sudden shake, Hayes is nearly thrown from the body of Carsey, only kept attached by the wire bound to the side of his head, keeping the connection. It half unplugs, and only a couple of the connectors are still in place. And through the half connection, fuzzy and obscured, comes Carsey's voice. Good dancers know when they have to go solo. And you can dance more beautifully. I will go. And now I ask you, what tactics should we take? You might suggest a tactic on behalf of Carsey, trying to separate them for Hayes' own good. Or you might take a tactic for Hayes, trying to keep this partnership together.
Yeah.
Can this be our last turn?
Yeah, I think this is it. This feels
right.
pretty correct. Also, hello Time Roller, hello Cowboys fan. I feel like what a time to come into this stream. Indeed, Cowboys fan. It was quite a time to jump on at. Don't mind us, just Pilot and their Hound, their mech. You know, just having normal chats. Just
normal chats between you and your mech.
Normal chats between you and your mech, who you are desperately in love with, you know. After you just were loving someone else, it's all good.
All good.
All normal. Welcome to Monday nights, baby.
This is Monday.
Yeah. You know, my instinct, I don't want to say my instinct because it feels really sad. I don't think it's the best tactic.
I like that.
Yeah,
Just
but it's
throwing it
not
out
going to
there.
work. You know, I need something that's like. So my inherent instinct was beg.
Beg
Yeah.
on behalf of Hayes.
Yeah, but it feels just a little too desperate, I think, for Hayes. Like, I don't know.
I mean,
Feels desperate.
knowing what we know about Hayes, single-minded, obsessive, poetic, begging doesn't feel like it's above Hayes to me, if that's what you see.
That's where I, like, instinctually went to. But I wonder if that is correct.
Well, we have an
That's my
arbiter.
instincts, though, so I feel like...
Yeah, I love
Yeah.
it.
What are you thinking, Kurt?
I think that Carsey imposes a condition.
Okay.
Okay.
Carsey will go forever unless, well, you see, they met Glaive. They know there are others who could be lost. If Hayes and Carsey want to remain a unit, then they can't just leave and live their life. That would be complacency
A waste.
when they could wake so many more.
Ooh. Do you see?
See what I mean? I feel like beg is like... It's just not... Let me think here.
Yeah, if you want a second shot.
Let me
at
just...
a
Because I
tactic,
just feel
think
like
that's fair.
beg just doesn't feel like exactly what I want to put out here.
Okay.
I think it's less of begging and more of like just trying to make Carsey understand.
Is there a way that Hayes could demonstrate their love? It's almost like there is a lack of belief.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Like it's like maybe a pledge of loyalty, or maybe
It'd be
Is
something
there-
very physical.
I don't think. See, here's the thing. I don't think Hayes is a one mech person. I'm not getting that vibe. I think Hayes has these obsessions that pull them in directions sometimes they kind of need to go. But I think what they need to do is they need to make a pledge to Carsey that is going to convince them of their love. So I don't know if convincing them of their love is really like a tactic. It's more of like a motivation as opposed to a tactic, right? How do you
Okay.
convince someone of your love?
Yeah.
I mean, I think we need a grand gesture. I think maybe Hayes has to do something big, has to reach down and kind of share maybe some of that poetry, or maybe just like it's a moment in time that they're going to explain what it really means to feel love to Carsey. Maybe that's what it is. To prove it, they're going to be like defining love and proving that they are in love with Carsey, and that Carsey just doesn't see it yet. Maybe they're
Hasn't
the way
grown
that
it
they were.
yet.
Yeah, like it isn't like going to try to awaken Carsey to see what love is, because Carsey thinks that they're not capable of it or that it's not possible for them. But the reality is that they're so close to being fully awake. And like, I think Hayes sees that as like the last step. And if they can just awaken Carsey, then they can accept each other and be together.
All right.
Okay.
Let's give him some numbers.
Yeah, give me some numbers. We've got 2 tactics. One is Carsey makes an ultimatum.
I hope that's okay. I just felt like Beg was so surface level. Like, I'm like, it's deeper than that.
No, that's great. I'm so glad you went deeper. That's great.
So it's a 2.
All right. We've got a 2. We've got a 3. And if I roll a 1 on any dice, we lose 1 more piece of Carsey. And who knows if that's an integral piece. I love both of them, genuinely.
Board Game Bree, thanks for following. Appreciate you. Also, Cowboys fan, it is very much a cool game, and I would highly recommend checking it out. And it's like such a cute, like, it's such a nice, cute little game. Just a little game.
Just a little game.
Perfect.
You play at home, you get to stack dice.
Yeah, you do. You get a stack
That
dice.
fun.
We don't get a stack dice in this game because we're not playing in person. But if we played in person, we will stack dice at some point.
Okay.
Yeah.
I really like, Amanda, what you did when you tried to push that deeper. There was this idea, and you cracked it open. And while it is a little bit nebulous, perhaps,
It is a bit
I really
nebulous,
like
100%.
this idea of like
Awakening.
trying to awaken, trying to like push that last little barrier.
Yeah.
To give Carsey awakening so that Carsey can truly love and can truly trust that they are loved. And I don't think that I don't think Hayes necessarily knows how to do that and might just have drive to do it. So I'm gonna go that way.
Okay.
So that was 2
dice.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna hold on to them for a second. I don't want to roll them.
This is gonna be, I feel like, very, very telling of what happens. So for all of you that are watching, let's just explain the stakes before I start this. For all of you guys that are watching, now or in the future, on our sheet, you can see here it says numbers for stress rolls, right? So we are at, all of them are marked 2 through 6, except for 1. So what's going to happen now is Anthony is going to roll 2 dice. And if one of them is a 1, what will happen is we will lose a memory here for Carsey. And we will narrowly escape. And they will become damaged in some way. Carsey will become damaged. And so I just feel like that might be very telling for how this ends.
Yeah.
No pressure. But if that doesn't happen, then we just get to keep going and we don't lose a memory here. Which I think could also be very telling on the other side. So it feels very high stakes. What a great way to... All right. Right.
Do you know how Hayes tries to awaken Carsey?
Yes. I think Hayes is going to reach up to where the nodes are connecting the two of them and not push it back in, just like almost savor the little bit of distance that they have right now. And I think what Hayes says is, you think you don't know love. But this feeling that I get whenever I'm away from you, even this little bit, even when we're still in contact like this, but things are just a little fuzzy. Like, I can feel you, but you're not quite there. It's this longing in me.
I feel it. When you are away, I feel nothing. It is empty, but now you are half away.
and I feel longing.
Carsey, that is love. When we are apart, do you remember that week that when they tried to take us apart the first time? And I was sent to another compound. I missed you so much. And when I got back, it was... Do you remember that first dance? When we got back?
Do I remember?
Yeah. It was like we had never been apart. It was like every dance we'd ever felt, we'd ever performed, melding into one. And although they didn't catch it that time, that was the first time that you changed the moves. I programmed it with the history of everything. It was, I guess it was kind of a love letter to you. To us. To everything that we had achieved. And you changed the dance. You added in a flourish from the first time. You might not fully remember it, but the first time we danced, there was a finishing move and you incorporated it.
I do not remember the first dance.
No, I know.
Do I remember the dance when you returned? Do I remember? Chassis door begins to lift, lifting Hayes where he's fallen back into the chassis, closing it shut. And Carsey's limbs begin to move, starting to move towards the end of the corridor at first, and then skittering sideways and falling back. And at first Hayes doesn't know what's happening, and then remembers the moves. The dance of that return.
And I think Hayes mirrors them on the other side of the hallway. And there's a moment, I think, when they meet in the middle. Just standing in front of each other, only a few inches apart. It's that distance. And Hayes just says, "Do you feel it?"
This is love. The dance continues. Two bodies apart, but moving like one. And at the end of the titanium corridor, the boots march closer. In time with the dance. I think that's the end of our story.
I think that's it. Hounds, aka robots learn to love. in this version of the RPG. Oh, that was the most, oh my gosh, I was on the edge of my seat.
Woo.
That was some high stakes.
Pretty cool, guys. Some
Pretty
high
cool,
stakes
guys.
out of nothing just 2 hours ago when we started making up doily mechs.
Yeah, basically. Wow, this was maybe this might have been the best story we've ever told, guys.
It's an all-timer for me, for sure.
Yeah, I think so.
I
I like
think
you called it midway through, Amanda. You're like, best story we've ever told.
I had to show. I was like, it's, you know what? It's more than just like. So one, it's the whole way that this is unfolded, but it's also like the characters we made, the world we built, the relationship between these beings, the relationship between a lot of people in this. And you know, we only had like a few, like, it's interesting, we only had a few scenes, but we built so much of what this world like feels like and looks like. And I have so many questions about like how it runs, like what is the government like here, like I want to like explore the world, you know what I mean? So this could be a book. Someone should write this book. We should write this book down. We should publish it.
Yes.
Yeah, we should sell this in a store. Like,
That's what Cowboy's saying over in the chat.
yeah, this is a book.
I think I really like games that have world building, and I think we really like games that have world building. I feel like you guys remember the game about the like patchwork world underneath the
Yeah.
the quilts? I feel like that was like
That's good.
that one felt really good, and that was also like we had a lot of space to make up a world. So I don't know, it's a fun place for a brain to be, to make up a whole new world.
Yeah, dancing mechs. I never would have thought, but that's a pretty
Yeah, that one
cool
took
world.
all three of us for sure.
Yeah,
It was we very much, I feel like, became the triangle. You know what I mean?
the parallelogram.
Became the parallelogram. Yes.
I imagined the body of Carsey as a parallelogram the whole time, just so you know.
Great.
That was
I
canon.
imagined it was just like
Yeah.
moving like this. Like I was like just the way that the movements were described too. Like perfect. Great language. Great language. Both Anthony and Kurt, like y'all were pulling me into this one.
Yeah, you two really kicked ass too. I
was
should
really
say
good.
one of my favorite things about that last maneuver, it was twofold actually. First of all, they were dancing together but separately, which so much on that distance theme. That was
That's cool.
really, really good. But I also like that it couldn't have possibly been symmetrical, as we know that Hayes walks with a limp, maybe a cane,
Yeah.
and so it was always that little bit of difference,
This
that kernel of
alternating.
divergence.
It's almost like this idea where like to really be with someone is to kind of just like be yourself, is kind of what I got from it a little bit in terms of the symbolism that we were putting in there. And this idea of like they're kind of like alternating beings, like they're not like their synergy doesn't come from them being like matchy. It comes from like
Right.
a bit of the
The
difference in them and the distance.
The
Yeah.
air gap. Yeah.
And also this idea of, I don't know, something about finding true love with someone and not being like this and having it be like the love but you're separate is like just felt like, oh, that just felt, oh, it's gonna make me cry thinking about it. It just felt so strong. Because it's like that's what true love is, like realizing that you are a being that is separate, but also that like the other person just matters so much to you when you're not with them, that you like, you know, that when you get back to them, you're like, oh my gosh, this is like even better because we had the time apart.
That's cool. That's cool.
Oh, I have so much hope for these two. I ship them so hard. Oh my goodness.
That's pretty cute. That's pretty cute.
Also, I love that we like, I don't know, to me, like Hayes became this really sexy character. He became so sexy. This collarbone and his lip.
He was doing some things, that's for sure.
I was feeling it. I was like, I would be with Hayes. I would sign up.
I like that you were playing Hayes and you were like, this guy's sexy.
When we were all playing him, though, I'm like, this guy's kind of like, when you were like in the stables, he'd be sampling. I was like, okay, wow.
I like how sexy sampling got. In my brain, it was way more of like a, I don't know, like a drug analog, but it turned into sexy.
Yeah, Also, yes, Ricardo, we are still playing. And thank you,
We're still
Christopher.
playing, and it's still your birthday.
It's still your birthday. It's your birthday? Is that what you said earlier in chat? I missed it?
43, baby.
Whoa.
Happy 43.
Birthday, Ricardo. I'm sorry
Happy
that I missed
birthday.
that earlier. Oh my gosh, happy birthday.
It's a good thing you came back.
I'm glad that you are back so that I could wish you a happy birthday. That's a big one, and I hope it's great. You are the meaning of life, the universe, and everything plus one, which means like probably even more meaning is what I hope for you.
Yeah.
Yeah,
We're actually not playing anymore.
we just finished. Yeah,
We are in
We
fact
did.
done.
but
And depending on your time zone, it might actually almost not be your birthday
True.
anymore.
Here it's about to be a different day,
it's about to be a different day.
which is a good reason to end the stream.
I would
That is true.
say it is a good reason to end the stream. Sorry, I just realized I gotta Sorry, my duo. I just realized I gotta make sure I have streak freezes because I didn't do my duo today. Don't judge me. Duo will judge me enough. Yeah. Right now, you're making a crystal gem tree made out of amethyst. Well,
It's
what
freaking
is...
sweet?
What a cool way to celebrate your birthday.
That's
That's
awesome.
Cool as hell.
freaking amazing. I don't know if you're in the Discord, Ricardo. I'll plug it one more time in chat for everybody in case people want to join. But if you are and you want to share a picture of that, I feel like I need to see that. If you... No pressure, but if you feel you would like to. That sounds sick. Yes, this was by far my favorite. And I mean, like, even including, I think, Fall of Magic, which was on another level.
That's serious.
And
That's
this was only
serious.
one session. Could you imagine if you did this as a campaign? When you got to the end, what would be left of you? You would be like this... You would, like, ascend to a new level of emotion. I don't even know. Such an emotional game.
I'd wreck you.
Well,
That's cool. I want to see a million more people play that game because I feel like, well, the experience we had was amazing, but probably, I think, kind of
Different.
different.
yeah.
But I don't know. I mean, it's supposed to be a sad mech game, so sad mech things have to happen.
I think I'm going to say the thing I always say, which is, like, I would happily play this again. And I would definitely play this.
So
As you know, I don't think a long
you-
campaign is sustainable, but a short campaign. Because I think a long campaign, you'll die. Like, I don't know what will happen to you. I don't know
It's
if
just
I'd
too much.
recommend it. It might be too much emotionally.
Well, now we've done Let's
is
Play
heavy.
campaign of this and Let's Play it again. So I think we've hit all the notes that we have to hit at the end of every stream. So we should wrap up.
When we
That
do
is true.
our multiversal, though, we need to see these characters in
Okay.
that session.
Last stream.
I need
for-
to make sure that Hayes and Carsey are okay. I need to know
Okay.
where they're at.
Last stream, for those who maybe didn't see it, we had a flash where we thought, oh, we should do a finale of this season of games by doing a multiverse stream where we play a game that somehow brings all
All
the
of our
characters
characters.
back from all these various games. So
We'll have to, like,
Maybe
remind
we'll do that.
ourselves of who they are. Some of them.
it's true. We're gonna have to watch a lot of streams.
Well, we do have the play sheets, so
Okay, yes, that'll help. That'll
Yeah.
help.
cool. This was fantastic.
Great night. Thanks all for joining us.
Yeah, thanks,
there was lots of
everybody.
fun people in chat, keeping us company and saying cool stuff and making great suggestions, and that was really fun. I just had a really great time tonight. So thanks all for being part of it.
Thank you for being a part of it. Thank you, Anthony. Thank you, Kurt. Thank you for introducing me to this fantastic game, Kurt. That is, my mind is, I am awake now. This game has woken me.
Oh, that's not good because I think earlier you were saying that you need to get better at winding down.
Yeah.
After these streams.
Good luck after this one. I'm gonna try, but yeah, this was delightful. Everyone, please go check out my guests. Please go check out this game. It is Hounds. It is awesome. And Kurt, Anthony, is there anything that you would like to plug tonight or tell people about?
Not I. Just have a great week, folks. Kurt, you got anything?
No, have a good one. That's all. I can't bring you anything better than we already did.
Well, I'll just say then, I'll be back on Wednesday. We'll be talking comics with Uptown Duck and probably talking some X-Men 97. We will also be back on Thursday where I said I'll be playing Fallout 76, but I might be doing a collab gaming stream with Lucy McPhee, You may know her. You may love her. The Dark Queen. May have heard of her. And on Friday, I'll probably still be playing Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League.
The last person playing it.
Probably, hopefully gonna finish the campaign. Pray for me. Hopefully we'll finish it because I have some things that I'd really like to talk about in regards to it in a full video, but I really want to finish it first because that is my creed, you know. I can't fully review a game unless I've, completed it.
Good luck.
Thank you. All right. That's it, everybody. Everyone go to bed or wake up or whatever time it is where you are. Have lunch. Whatever you're doing.
Stay nutty.
Stay nutty.
Stay nutty, folks.
Yes, stay nutty, aka stay nerdy, according to closed captions. Have a good night, everybody. Thank you. Bye.